is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning. Speech from the throne. The government pledging to stabilize finances, fight the pandemic, and grow the economy. Former Prime Minister Menace calls the speech from the throne a rehash. Women to serve as House Speaker and President of the Senate. And the Prime Minister to probe any possible ministerial conflict in prison leadership change. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up. It's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's here. It's the start of the end of the old way. Revolution. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Thursday, October 7th, 2021. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Laverne Gardner will be joining us. Also this morning, we've got another drawing of the Bahamas COVID vaccination raffle and more on the speech from the throne, getting your reaction to it. What were the highlights for you throughout the morning and into Morning Blend business as well? That's all straight ahead, but first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, in the speech from the throne delivered by Governor General Sir Cornelius A. Smith, the Davis administration outlining broad legislative and policy initiatives, including legislation to replace the emergency orders, an amendment to the Value-Added Tax Act to fulfill its campaign pledge of reducing VAT from 12 to 10%, legislation for a cannabis industry, an increase in the minimum wage, and the implementation of a debt management plan to address the historic debt burden and deficit. In an historic move, officials said was made in part to accommodate a large crowd during the ongoing pandemic. The opening of Parliament took place at Baha Resort yesterday, where makeshift House of Assembly and Senate chambers were set up. Hundreds of people attended the event, which came just under 3 weeks after the PLP won 32 of the 39 seats in the House of Assembly. The Davis administration saying yesterday it came to office in the midst of a mismanaged health and economic crisis. Its highly anticipated speech did not stray from the plans already outlined by the party during the recent campaign and in its blueprint for change released not long before the general election. In its speech, the new administration pledged to reform the electoral process in the country. It said measures will be introduced to amend the rules of the House of Assembly to enable fixed sessions of Parliament. It also pledged to institute local government in New Providence. The Davis administration committed to amending several pieces of major legislation passed under the previous administration. In the new session, the government said it will amend the Public Procurement Act to strengthen provisions for Bahamian participation in government procurement at all levels. The act was only sanctioned last month. The government also pledged to amend the Fiscal Responsibility Act to strengthen the independence of the Fiscal Responsibility Council. and it said it will amend the Public Financial Management Act to ensure full compliance with all existing legislation. It also pledged to amend the Commercial Enterprises Act to ensure that when jobs are being filled, Bahamians receive the highest priority. And the PLP had promised in opposition to repeal the act and had warned investors and others who accept benefits under the act to think carefully before doing so. The Davis administration also said it will not tolerate corruption, and it is committed to introducing effective anti-corruption legislation. The government pledged to increase accountability and transparency and committed to fully implement the provisions of the Freedom of Information Act. Well, opposition leader and F&M leader and former Prime Minister Dr. Minnis says the Davis administration's speech from the throne was a copy and a rehash of what the F&M had proposed on the election trail. Minnis reacted to the speech after the House Assembly, which met in New Providence, as we said, was adjourned yesterday, met at Bahamar. Minnis saying that these are the same programs that they talked about, his party, and he pointed to the Davis administration's promise to lower VAT from 12 to 10%. And saying that these were the same things that were promised on the election campaign trail. For the first time in Bahamian history, women will preside over both houses of Parliament simultaneously. Bamboo Town MP Patricia DeVoe was elected as Speaker of the House of Assembly, and J. Lachelle Adderley was appointed as President of the Senate. During the opening session of the Senate, Adderley remarked on the historic occasion, saying that, quote, "This is the first time in the history of our Commonwealth that two women have sat simultaneously as Speaker of the House and President of the Senate. Indeed, this is a seminal moment in our country, and again, it is noteworthy that perhaps during the most challenging times since independence, we have turned to two women to keep order and to maintain order and transparency in our system of democracy." Prime Minister Davis says that he will ensure that there is transparency and no conflict following Minister of National Security Wayne Munro's decision to send Commissioner of Correctional Services Charles Murphy on administrative leave. Munro's firm, in which he is now inactive, represents Bernadette Thompson Murray and Dawn Clare, who filed a lawsuit against the government in 2019. Clare and Thompson Murray claimed that they were forced to take vacation to facilitate the appointment of Murphy as commissioner, a position they alleged he was unqualified for. Less than 2 weeks after Munro's appointment as minister, Murphy was ordered to go on administrative leave, and his firm's clients, Clare and Thompson, were ordered to return to prison, with Clare appointed as Commissioner of Correctional Services acting. Davis asked yesterday about this and asked if he was concerned about a conflict of interest. He said that the matter is under review. He says he was informed that the leadership of the prison was under review and that it may have possibly required putting the commissioner on administrative leave. Overseas, a powerful earthquake collapsed at least one coal mine and dozens of mud houses in southwest Pakistan early today, killing at least 20 people and injuring more than 200. The death toll was expected to rise even further as crews searched in the remote mountain area of the country. At least 4 of the dead were killed when the coal mine in which they were working collapsed. As many as 100 homes also collapsed, burying sleeping residents inside. The epicenter of the 5.9 magnitude quake was about 9 miles northeast of Harney. The initial measurement of the quake's strength was 5.7. It struck about 5.5 miles below the Earth's surface. Shallower quakes tend to cause more damage. And the World Health Organization has started shipping COVID-19 medical supplies into North Korea, a possible sign that the North is easing one of the world's strictest pandemic border closures to receive outside help. WHO saying in a weekly monitoring report that it has started the shipment of essential COVID-19 medical supplies through the Chinese port of Dalian for strategic stockpiling and further dispatch to North Korea. A WHO representative to North Korea said in an email to the Associated Press today that some items, including emergency health kits and medicine, have reached the North Korean port of Nampo after North Korean authorities allowed the WHO and other UN agencies to send supplies that had been stuck in Dalian. In sports, some not good news coming out of the WNBA as the Connecticut Sun have been eliminated on their road for a championship. All season long, the Chicago Sky has been a thorn in the side of the Connecticut Sun. It couldn't be more evident than in their WNBA semifinal series as the sixth-seeded Sky derailed the Sun's championship hopes, taking them out in 4 games in the best-of-5 series. The Sky won the series 3-1, taking Game 4, 79-69 last night in Chicago. Held to 13.3 points per game in the first 3 games of the series, 6 points below her season average. Bahamian women's professional player Jonquel J.J. Jones exploded for a game high of 25 points and added 11 rebounds last night, but it wasn't enough as the Sky kept everyone else in check. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. In your weather for today, boaters in the extreme northwest Bahamas should be alert due to the threat of possible waterspout activity, and beachgoers in the central and southeast Bahamas should exercise caution due to the risk of rip currents along eastern shorelines, as we're experiencing building high pressure producing moderate to locally strong breezes, as lingering moisture north of the area will increase shower chances mainly across the northern islands through tonight. So your forecast for the northwest Bahamas today, variably cloudy, hot and humid, with isolated showers and thunderstorms mainly in the extreme northwest Bahamas through tonight. Gusty winds and higher seas expected in or near showers and thunderstorms. Winds easterly at 10 to 15 knots, but gusty at times, seas 2 to 4 feet, but higher in gusts. For the central and southeast Bahamas, partly sunny to sunny, very warm, a bit hazy, and breezy with quick passing showers, becoming mostly fair and warm with a few light showers tonight. Small craft cautions in effect, winds easterly at 15 to 20 knots, but gusty at times, seas 4 to 7 feet. We're expecting another hot day and another day of the heat index getting up into the triple digits, very summer-like, so highs around 90 Fahrenheit, 32 Celsius, but that heat index up to 102 Fahrenheit, 39 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to 73 Fahrenheit, 23 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook coming up after traffic in just a bit. It's time for a break, but when we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9, your home for fresh news and smart talk all day.
Technology serves to make our lives better, so why not your business too? At Custom Computers, we've been maintaining our knowledge and relationships with top tech companies since 1987 and carry only the most trusted brands like Apple, Microsoft, HP, and more. No company has helped more businesses build reliable IT systems than Custom Computers. You name it, we've done it. Call 396-1101 to talk to any of our business experts. Find trust in your tech. Count on Custom Computers.
People helping people to help themselves.
All right, watch this. The credit union of the Bahamas, drop card ain't got nothing on them. There's the plug.
People helping people to help themselves.
Don't believe me? Join the credit union and watch your money grow like Chef and Needle.
Credit unions are smarter choice. Higher rates on your savings.
Yeah, go join one.
Credit unions are smarter choice. More money you make.
More what? Stop that.
Credit unions are smarter choice. Higher rates on your savings.
Let me get my money there.
Credit unions are smarter choice. More money you make. Join a credit union. Watch your savings grow with higher interest rates. Become a member and purchase some shares. Then ownership is coming your way. They offer local banking members the owner. Personalized service. Come and join the credit union, and your choice will be the smartest. Credit unions are the smarter choice. Higher rates on your savings.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's here. It's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. You can also text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. We'll give you the phone numbers that you can call in on in just a bit. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now, Laverne Gardner. Laverne Gardner, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing well. We missed you last week. Great to have you back.
Yeah, I missed you guys. I'm happy to be back.
Wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff. We have a lot to talk about this morning.
Yes.
And we're going to get right into it. We're going to get into that all morning long, talking about the speech from the throne, the highlights, and the reaction to it. Want to get your reaction to it as well, listeners. And also this morning, we've got the Bahamas COVID vaccination raffle. And we are also going to talk with BTC about something special they have going on. And so a lot to get to on this Thursday morning. But let's begin with what is in the news. And in the news, quite a lot to talk about from yesterday, especially the speech from the throne that was delivered by the Governor General, Cornelius A. Smith, and the outline, the agenda for the Davis administration for this term in office. For more on what was said yesterday, before we break things down even further, take a listen to this report from our Jasmine Brown.
The new government made a number of key commitments in the speech from the throne that was read in a packed Bahamar Convention Center Grand Ballroom. The parliamentary proceedings that also included the first sittings of the Senate and House of Assembly since the election of a new administration were relocated from downtown to Bahamar due to the threat of rain, the demolition of the Churchill building, and limited spacing in Parliament Square. Governor General C.A. Smith read a number of key measures that the Davis administration plans on tackling this term. Getting the loudest applause was the promise to reduce value-added tax.
But despite the outlook, my government will introduce measures that will bring immediate relief to the Bahamian people and to businesses. My government will amend the VAT Act to lower the rate of VAT across the board to 10%.
The government's pledge to increase the minimum wage and pension for senior citizens also got cheers from the crowd. But the Davis administration said dealing with the economy and COVID-19 pandemic will take precedence.
My government will, therefore, introduce legislation and policies to fully address future major health risks to avoid the need for emergency orders.
Most of the commitments outlined in the speech from the throne are part of the Progressive Liberal Party's Blueprint for Change, which promises the public path to economic growth. On the infrastructure end, the Davis administration recommitted to building new hospitals on Grand Bahama, and it also committed to expediting the development of airports on Exuma, Grand Bahama, and North Eleuthera, as well as advancing the development of all major airports across the Bahamas through public-private partnerships. It also pledged to complete what the Minnis administration did not when it comes to the marijuana industry.
The government will introduce a regulatory framework for the cannabis industry.
Among other things, the government also committed to fully implementing provisions of the Freedom of Information Act, introducing measures to amend House of Assembly rules to enable fixed sessions of Parliament, introducing effective anti-corruption legislation, and reforming the electoral process.
The government will introduce a regulatory framework for the cannabis industry.
Reporting for Guardian News Network, I'm Jasmine Brown.
All right, so a taste of it there is a lot more, of course, 11 pages, and we're going to talk about it all. But let's get your initial reaction to what you heard in that report, some of the highlights in that report there. And let's hear what you have to say about it and what you are most excited about, what you're most skeptical about, what you are not feeling entirely, all those things. Let's talk about it. Give us a call, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. We'll get into what happened yesterday, all the pomp and the pageantry, and the history that was made in the naming of the Speaker of the House and the President of the Senate. We'll get to that in a bit, and some more of the reaction. But, Laverne, anything jumping out at you, anything that has you very excited, something that you wish you'd heard about, that you didn't hear, that you didn't read? What are your initial thoughts?
Well, based on the last speech from the throne, I taught myself not to be excited
Oh, dear.
about anything, but to just make note and listen. I did find it interesting, though, on page 8, because I wasn't able to hear it, and so the report. So on page 8, I found it interesting that there was a section dedicated to natural resources, setting up a proper sovereign wealth fund, and ensuring that, certain assets are going to be in that sovereign wealth fund, so that it can be a benefit to Bahamians across generations, capitalizing on carbon credits. And so I found that very interesting, whether you agreed with what Lincoln Bain was saying or not, you can't help but recognize that. I believe that his push and the constant talking about our natural resources and sovereign wealth fund and carbon credits, I think, impacted that. So I found that to be very interesting. Yeah, you don't have to agree, but I think that will play a part in it.
Okay, here's the thing.
What I'm saying is that, he kept going. And because he kept that conversation going, you found that even during campaigning, that other parties began to touch on that. And prior to that, you weren't hearing it as much. I'm not saying he was the only person who's ever talked about it, but I'm just saying that he kept that kind of at the forefront. And I think that also played a part too in that speech yesterday from the throne. So you saw that those things were specifically highlighted.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the FNM did promise that as well. They did talk about it quite a bit on the campaign trails, you said. So perhaps we don't know how initially it sparked it, but a lot of
right. But what I'm saying is because for me, that just shows that it's important for us, the things that are important to us in this country, that we want to see happen in this country, we got to keep talking about it. We got to keep it at the forefront.
Very true.
Because it's an impact. So I saw it, even when we feel that it doesn't, it does.
Yeah.
So we got to keep that in the conversation, not forget it. Sometimes we talk about something for 2 weeks, it's of national importance, and then after that, it's forgotten.
Yeah.
So for me, I found that particularly interesting.
And you're right, because I think there were some other people, many others, long before Lincoln, who were talking about it. They would call shows
but I'm just
all
saying,
the time.
by keeping it there in the forefront, I found it very interesting also that they opened up with the speech opened up talking about transparency, integrity, and accountability, and it ended that way. For me, I'm going to be a wait and see. And so how does this all play out? I'm curious now because one of the things, of course, I'm a Grand Bahamian, so I hear Grand Bahama, my ears perk up. I found it also interesting that in this speech it was mentioned that the government's focus is going to be on the maritime industry for Grand Bahama, really promote. My question is, are we no longer the technological hub of the Bahamas? I don't know. Looks like the focus may have shifted.
Hey, y'all are big enough to do multiple things.
Apparently, we're big enough to do both.
Yeah.
And then hopefully we'll see some movement with the airport. The speech from the throne says that we are going to get a new hospital, not kind of the patch up that we've been getting. And so good things, I think, were mentioned. I just see these as intentions articulated until I begin to see the details. How is it going to work? How is it going to happen? And so for me, I'm just, like I said, in the wait and see mode to see how it works. And of course, the major focus is the health industry, the health crisis that we are in, as well as the economic crisis that we are in. People, of course, I'm sure were excited to hear about the government's continued to reduce VAT to 10%.
Right.
And so, we heard that by the round of applause that people were excited about that, are excited about that. And so I always think to myself, if we're going to reduce it by 2%, how are we going to make up the shortfall of that 2%? So, like I said, I'm going to wait and see how that unravels. But a lot of the focus also appeared to be on supporting domestic investment, supporting Bahamians in business, and providing them with those concessions that perhaps in the past has only been given to foreign investors. And so, like I said, these are good things.
Yeah.
And we will just, I'm going to be the person who's going to wait and see. I'm happy that there was mention of, because we talk a lot about the Freedom of Information Act. So if we can get that properly done, I'm happy about that. And also electoral reform. Yeah. But I just found the wording interesting. After the broadest of consultation. After the broadest of consultation.
My goodness.
So.
Well, yep. So many promises, but we will see.
Right.
I think a lot of people will join you there waiting to see. I know what jumped out at me, definitely the whole aspects involving governance on the Family Islands and for Providence. So this part, and this would be, if you have a copy of the speech, page 10, where it says, "My government will capitalize on the ongoing successes of the industrial sector on Grand Bahama and use the investment arm of the Ministry of Grand Bahama to create a one-stop shop to attract new local and direct foreign investment by way of duty-free concessions across the entire island. Family Island affairs and local government are priority. My government will develop strategic plans for each island. My government will work towards the finalization of a local government act for New Providence. My government will empower local government with revenue-raising powers and share jurisdiction over local affairs and community management and development. And my government will increase the budget for local government councils during our 5-year term." Now, if you listen to this show regularly, you know that this is very important.
I thought of you. I'll be honest. As I was reading it and I saw that, I thought of you. I saw that, especially local government. When I saw local government for New Providence, I said, "Oh, okay."
This is
And
extremely important in
also,
transforming this country, I mean, especially the family islands that are so stagnant right now. If they had some say in the development, the course, the trajectory they're on, their economic plan, if they could have a say and benefit from whatever comes out of it, they would really transform this whole country if we really thought of it like that. Decentralization is key.
Yeah.
But we hear this a lot. We hear frustration. And look where we are.
Yeah. The other thing, too, that stood out to me, really, was the National Youth Guard.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm very interested in seeing the framework for that, how that will come together. And the focus, it seems to be helping to teach and prepare so that they can assist during, national disasters. So.
Yeah, that one sounds
So, like I said, a lot of lofty goals, if I can use that. And it's up, we will definitely see what happens.
Yeah.
And
as you said, we can't let them forget that they said these things. We can't let them forget they made these promises.
Exactly. So I've made a note that I'm just going to be watching. I'm not going to just go and think, oh, yes, this is happening, because we road before where we got all of these lofty goals, and at the end of the day, we find that those same lofty goals that were talked about before are resurfacing, and the reason they're resurfacing is because they were not done as they were promised.
Yeah,
that's the reality. So, and I mean, I'm saying that even in terms of the former prime minister's comments with regards to the speech from the throne.
We'll get to him.
Yeah.
We'll get to him.
We'll get there. I won't preempt you with that.
My goodness.
Lofty goals, like I said, and it's just a matter of waiting and seeing what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And let's keep these things, again, as a people, to the forefront and, remind the government we are expecting these things. So we want to see this come to fruition. We want to see the framework, the inner working. Don't make these things more difficult than they have to be.
And
by
started
going through copious amounts of consultations and
that's happened before with previous administrations. And start it now. Don't come back to us 2 years from now. Oh, I need my 10 years in order to accomplish this. Start it. Make the efforts to begin, and we hope that you get most of it done within 5 years.
Well, the reality is, based on the prior elections, you only have one term.
Yeah.
If we're basing, the way that you have to work, and so one of the things that I've been saying on my show is that you've got 5 years. So everything that you're trying to do, you need to figure out, for the most part, how you can get it done in 4.5 years.
Absolutely. All right, the phone lines are all lit up, and we've got a lot of text messages coming in. Let's hear what you have to say, your initial reaction to the speech from the throne, what stands out to you. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-42. Facebook has texted us, 422-4796. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, sir. Good morning to all.
Hi, good morning.
Yes, sir. My concerns are, on the speech from the throne is that, it seems like we're moving into privatizing medicine, because when somebody invests monies, especially the billions that needed to construct hospitals in Nassau, both Nassau, Grand Bahama, and the family of islands, are billions of dollars. And when they invest billions of dollars, they're looking for what you call it, profits. And the question is, how do they get profits? You see, we have private hospitals now, that can't serve the needs of health care for all, as well as housing. How does that work? Is that private banks rather than what you call it, housing bank? You see, how does that work? You see, and in terms of tax credits, or tax incentives. Tax incentives is a spending. That's the spending, and you incentives to create jobs. What kind of jobs? Jobs that are more than 50% below the livable wage. You see, we tend to just take everything that politicians tell us for granted. We don't scrutinize it. We say
You say this a lot of people are scrutinizing. That's what we're doing right now. Let's stop the generalization, please. My goodness. Okay, maybe the majority doesn't, but people are, and we need. That's what we said earlier. We need everyone to be more active and participatory, and to really not look so much for what you can get individually, but collectively for the country, the greater good of the country. We need to have that type of mindset. So let's work on that. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight and Lauren.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, Dwight. Couple things stood out for me too, right? Of course, I agree with Lauren 100% with the carbon and the natural resources that was being uttered by Lincoln being constantly on, and he really caused a lot of these parties to start, looking at the possibility of a natural resource, and so I really have to agree with her with that, right? Now, but when it comes to some of the things I saw, what I looking for is like the increase for the old age pensioners, right? If that could happen, that's good for me, because if you see how much old people are suffering in this country after contributing themselves to this country, and now they are old and they have absolutely nothing. Some of them living from nothing to nothing, right? So if I could see that before 4 years, because 4 years I ain't accepting nothing would come in the 4 year, because to be 4 years is campaigning. So all of these things, along with the what you call it, the.
Let me ask you something though. Where do you think that money's coming from?
Right.
Not from us. So as long as we accept that.
I agree.
Right. So that means our contributions will have to increase. And
yes, we have to break some eggs, right?
Okay.
To bake some cake.
As long as everybody gets it.
Yeah, but see, if we want things to change, then we have to accept the change that caused the change, right?
Okay.
Right? So, but
okay. When it comes up about the increases, we'll see if everybody.
I hear you, Dwight.
Mm-hmm.
I hear you, right? But we have to do something in order to change something.
Sure.
Right. So, and the other one, what I saw started to be too was if they could get disabled, right? Disabled, and also the local government for New Providence, right? These they some of the things what are high on my agenda, because the way the disabled and the elderly, right, is treated in this country is unbelievable, man. If there's a real place sometimes the way they treat those groups, right? So if some of these things that could benefit the Bahamian people in a short period of time, but please don't bring these things 4 years from now, because for you to try to implement any of these things, or waiting for a 4 year period to try to color the run like right, it ain't gonna be well accepted to the population. You guys have a nice day.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Blend.
Hi, good morning.
This promising thing that we are accustomed to during elections seems to have been, it's probably a prehistoric move, because people just look forward to the promises. But I was privileged to actually work for a catering company that catered to some of the functions that Sir Lyndon Pinlin attended, and I was fortunate to be able to always top up his glass. And I hear him say some things, some of which I'll be respectful and not to mention here, but I can say some things that you might have heard before. And he said that if Bahamians are not willing to fight for this country, they don't deserve to have it. And the way he said that, I got the impression he's really not Bahamian, the way he said it. But then that's all in the past. But he also mentioned publicly that Bahamians forget very quickly. So this is probably why we have these listening of promises. And
but that's how it works, though, right? That's what it happens all over the place. That's what you do. You say, "This is what we're going to work on. This is what we're going to do. This is our agenda," and you hold them to it. I'm saying this is what happens all over. This is what you do. You say, "This is what I'm going to work on." So we are all on the same page. These are the plans. This is what we're going to do. This is what we will be spending the next 5 years working on. Right now, the fact that we are talking like this is because often we don't hold them to these promises.
Right.
And they just become that. But that's what you do. Right. You lay out your agenda, and then
I think also it's important. I think also, Dwight, for us to decide what we're going to do. We can listen to the plans, hear the plans, and just dismiss them out of turn and say, "Oh, this is just something that's promised. This is what they normally do, and I'm not putting any stock in it." Or we can hear these promises or these broad plans, and we could say, "I'm making note of these, and I'm going to hold this government, these people accountable to their word, accountable to what their commitment is."
Right.
And, that's going to be our responsibility.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, I think we have a younger group of generations now who would probably just do that. You don't have someone who's living in Kemps Bay who is eating out of a plate that has a picture of Celinda in it and expecting for him who's already passed on to come back and eat out of it. That mindset is gone. But did you hear any plans as to how they're going to dig our way out of this financial debt in the speech from wherever that throne is?
I mean, they wouldn't get into the specifics
not
there.
In specifics,
no.
Nothing specific, but kind of in broader terms. The speech from the throne. So, you're not going to get the specifics. Point A, point B, we're going to do this.
But that would have bored all the people.
Times.
That would have bored all the people in their fancy clothes there yesterday. They don't need...
And hats. Fancy clothes and hats.
Yes.
And anyway,
numbers could be boring, but that's what we need now, numbers.
Yeah. Well, okay, thanks a lot. That's what we're expecting. Real sensible contributions.
Right before we go, I don't know if we have another caller, but I also wanted to mention, too, about an increase. There's going to be an increase in minimum wage and then phasing in a livable wage.
Yeah. That's going to be interesting. There's already some reaction to the livable wage issue from the business communities so far.
Exactly. So I'm like, how is the business community reading this?
But the challenge is going to be the livable wage, right? We did that show, a couple of those shows on this.
Absolutely. And it was clearly articulated the difference between the minimum wage and a livable wage.
So without the cost of living here, which wasn't really talked about, how are we going to do this?
Make that work?
Right. It's going to be very challenging. Very, very challenging. So, hey, let's take some more calls. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Ms. Gardner.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
What's the percentage of the people that voted in the last election?
What was it?
Somewhere around
60-something percent, right. Yeah, something like that. 60, not more than 70, I think.
Yeah, I don't think the Prime Minister Davis have the luxury of just throwing around these generalities or slogans and expect for Bahamians to just accept it. Well, in my opinion, I think we should just do away with these speech from the thrones anyway, because I think these promises made to fools is not happening at any point in our history. If you're going to continue down this road, we might just head back to London and let them take over. Or give ourselves to the U.S.
That's really extreme, don't you think? I mean,
I think we have to be extreme based on that we have right now.
Hey, folks, these previous administrations failed, right, in fulfilling the promises, and they were voted out, right? So I think that we have a clear pattern now. If you do the same thing, if you only make promises, and in 4 years you're like, you haven't done anything, you're going to end up just like the previous administration and the one before that and the one before that. But it's good for us to know what their plan is.
Right. They told us what their plan was when they was campaigning. It wasn't the same thing that they made in the speech from the throne.
Sure.
It was.
A lot of it was. Yeah.
A lot of it. Mm-hmm. But my point is, all I've been hearing from my memories are just speeches. Mm-hmm. Nothing really pans out the way talk about in their speech.
Well,
and like I said, the Prime Minister doesn't have the luxury of just sitting back and expecting us to just accept those things that they're saying. So I'm just tired of hearing it.
Well, we got to make sure they know that every day, that we say that all the time. You don't have much time to act. You've got to do these things that you promised. There was a lot of things. And what do you do?
The apathy, the disgruntledness, should I say, from the public right now is really loud. And 67% of people only voted. So what does that say about the state of our country right now?
Mm-hmm. A lot of work has to be done. A lot of work has to be done, definitely. Let's take these calls before we have to take a break. Good morning, caller on the air.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
Guest onto the Bahamas. Dwight, a lot of people are making noise about Lincoln Bean and the Sovereign Wealth Fund. But do you know that the Sovereign Wealth Fund was established, already started working on from in 2016, and Prescott Smith and Jermaine Coakley, better known as KCS, has been sitting down with Brave and the Christie administration with the Sovereign Wealth Fund. And everything that Lincoln Bean himself...
Yeah. We said that already, that other people were, many others were speaking
and
before
everything that he says, he gets Prescott Smith and stuff. So why do people think that Lincoln Bean has anything
we don't have to isolate or attack anybody about this. And as Laverne says, that's good. That's good. Everybody, I mean, if you want the credit, my God, okay. But a lot of people have been talking about it, and that's wonderful. We need more voices so that these folks can understand that we are very serious about it. And that's the point that Laverne was making, right, Laverne?
Yes, that's it. My point is we have to keep these things at the forefront. We don't have to go into who gets, I'm not talking about that. I use that to just emphasize that if we keep talking about these things and we keep them at the forefront, they know that we're paying attention. And so then their attention then becomes focused on that as well.
Right.
And so that is for everything. That isn't just for our natural resources. That is for everything that was listed and said in that promise, whether you are tired of hearing about it, whatever. The things, the speech from the throne is essentially this government to what they're going to be doing for this term, the next 5 years.
And it better be more than
5 years.
Better be more than one person talking, because if it's only one person talking about something over and over, they're going to say, "Oh, that's that crazy man or that crazy woman."
Exactly.
Right. So we have many different voices.
Everybody, we got to keep talking about it. We got to keep saying, "Hey, we haven't forgotten."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's take these calls. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Good morning. Hi. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yes. Good morning to both of you.
Hi.
Morning.
What I would like to see happen and hear more about are the banks. There's no sense in giving the poor or average person an increase in wages and the bank then charging you to take it out, to write a letter, to put it in. I mean, they have all these hidden charges they're putting on us. And the average man who money they're going to increase, it still don't make any sense to him to put it in the bank. But we need you go to the bank, you only got two tellers. We need to penalize these banks, and they need to give us service, because they've been sending monies out of this country, making money for years. And we are not getting we're not benefiting from it, and we're not getting any services. And I would like to see some attention brought to that.
Okay.
Because they got us now like cattle. They're dictating our lives and not giving us, and you make it 0.025 on the interest of your money, and they lending it out at 9 up to 12% in some cases.
Well, it really depends, but they're going to say it's the high cost of doing business in the country, and that is impeding and forcing them to put all these fees on the customers, because they're challenged with the electricity rates and with everything.
Yeah, but so what's the sense in increasing the small amounts of money if you're going to the bank is going to take a little portion of it right away?
We got to be a smart consumer, and you have to go and see who's deals and the best rates, and maybe, as a texter is saying, join a credit union or something. Maybe something might be better. Take your money from a bank to go to another one.
There's no way of getting around. I get 3 different banks.
Oh, boy.
and there's no way of getting around them and the policies they implement on us. Because they all have these strange policies to where it does not benefit the poor man.
Yeah.
And the poor man now is the one who's trying to see the rich and the middle class. They feel it, but they're not going to. They may just not like it, but they don't really feel it. But the poor people who we are talking about increasing their wages, it's only going to come down to the bank taking more of the money.
Let me ask you something. You mentioned the banks sending money out of the country, but we've got Bahamian banks. A texter saying that too. So are you finding those issues at the Bahamian banks too?
Well, I don't know much about those.
Oh,
I don't bank.
Okay, well,
bank.
Well, that's interesting. Why? Maybe you should consider that. Maybe you should consider that. Thank you very much, caller. Okay, got to shop. You're not pleased.
Just
shop around.
And also, Dwight, just as a point with banking, and I'm not justifying all of the fees, but based on what the caller said, I went into the bank in the U.S., 2 tellers, and one of them was working the drive-through. 2 tellers.
This is a worldwide trend. We're not happy about it, but these days with online banking, you really have very few reasons to go inside.
And then not only that, they had their signs posted, and I'm standing there and I'm reading, and one of the signs says, "If you are not an account holder with us and wish to cash a check, that it's going to be an $8 charge."
Yeah, that's how it is. That's how it is all over the world, unfortunately. But again, be a wise consumer.
Right.
Shop around. Tell them that this other bank is offering you 5%. Why are you offering me 7%?
I'm a big
see what happens.
of shopping around in credit unions.
Yeah. So they'll encourage it too. Like, see, what do they say? Oh, we'll beat that. Yeah. So do it. Don't accept everything on face value. Exercise your rights and your power. You have some. You actually do. You'll see. We'll take this call and then we're going to take the break. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Laverne.
Hi, good morning.
Both of you are doing well this morning. Dwight, I'm going to make my commentary very, very quick here. Firstly, I want Bahamians to really absorb what Sir Lyndon Oscar Pinley said in one of his final speeches to the Bahamian people, and that is, if you as Bahamians are not prepared to stand up, defend, and fight for your country, then you don't deserve to have it. We need to take the knowledge that obviously he was not meaning outside forces. I think he was really talking to the Bahamian people as our own people on the inside who are our own worst enemies attacking us from the inside. And this is exactly what we're getting today. We're not worrying about the outside people. It's really our people on the inside who are supposed to be protecting us, looking out for our best interests and everything, not doing what they're supposed to do to protect Bahamians. This is the first base that we need to focus at. My last thing, Dwight, and it's a request from you. And if the persons from the Gridley are listening to this program this morning, I need the body to come together, come to Morning Blend.
Oh, yes, we're working on it.
About their services that the credit union offers, because a lot of us are
in
now,
a matter of days. Just stay tuned. I'm
looking forward to it because, Dwight, to be honest with you, a lot of persons are turning off from these other commercial banks and even our own local bank, even though it does a great job at some of the things for Bahamians. The aspect that a lot of Bahamians are looking at is business loans and stuff, and that is not being offered to Bahamians. We must fix that. So I encourage you, and I encourage the people of the credit union, if they're listening, please come together, bring your organization to the table, and really inform the Bahamian people of the services that you offer here in the country.
Okay.
Thanks for taking my call.
Yep. They'll be here soon, very soon. We've been talking with them. They'll be here. All right, we've got a lot of text messages to get to, but we're going to take a break, and we'll be back with all of that and get more of your reaction to the speech from the throne. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
So I'm flying back to the island, so it's good. When you hear them beating that drum and calypso, na-na-na, there's a party going on. Got no till the break of dawn. Sweet music, man, it makes everyone lose control. Everybody, here we go, here we go. It's better in the bomb. Everybody, here we go, here we go. Yeah, we got it going on. Everybody, here we go, here we go. It's better in the bomb. And we got it going on.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
AP News, I'm Jackie Quinn. The strict anti-abortion law in Texas has been suspended by a federal judge in Austin. Our Tim McGuire reports.
Federal District Judge Robert Pittman calls a Texas law that bans most abortions in the state an unprecedented statutory scheme to deprive women of their constitutional right to an abortion. Pittman adding, women were unlawful over their lives.
The state is expected to file an appeal. $75,000 bail for the Texas high school student who opened fire inside his school during a fight yesterday. This mother so worried about her daughter inside and then relieved.
You never know when it's going to be your last day. So I'm very thankful to have my daughter with me.
Flooding in Birmingham, Alabama from a fierce storm that's already dumped about 6 inches of rain. A coroner in northeast Alabama is reporting that a child has died. Sewer systems to the south are backing up in Baldwin County. The U.S. debt ceiling crisis is lifted for now. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell agrees to allow Democrats unimpeded to vote to raise the debt ceiling, but it's only until December. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki says it should have been a long-term deal.
We don't need to kick the can. We don't need to go through a cumbersome process that every day brings additional risks.
Asian stocks traded higher today, with signs of progress on the U.S. resolving its debt situation. In New Mexico, authorities say they used GPS from an electronic ankle monitor to locate a man now charged with fatally beating his wife with an axe in the Gila National Forest. Call this a tailor-made win for the Dodgers. Chris Taylor's 2-run homer in the bottom of the ninth gives Los Angeles the NL wild card win. This is AP News. The White House is vowing to make COVID testing more available to U.S. households.
Healthcare giant Kaiser Permanente says it has placed more than 2,200 employees nationwide on unpaid leave for failing to get vaccinated against the coronavirus. The suspended employees make up a little over 1% of Kaiser's workforce. Kaiser says the suspended employees have until December 1st to get vaccinated, and those who choose not to will be terminated. Kaiser, based in Oakland, California, announced the vaccination requirement on August 2nd. In September, President Joe Biden ordered companies with more than 100 employees to require vaccinations or weekly testing for COVID-19. I'm Mike Gracia.
A powerful earthquake has collapsed at least one coal mine and as many as 100 houses in a mountainous area of southwest Pakistan. Officials are reporting at least 20 people have been killed. I'm Jackie Quinn, AP News.
7:43 the time for the first check of your traffic for this morning, brought to you by RBC Royal Bank. Here's what's happening. We've got Mile Butler Highway, heavy traffic as usual from Fire Trail all the way up northbound lanes for you. Glass Road looking a little bit better for you in the northbound lane to JFK Drive. Further east, we've got Blue Hill Road, building traffic near Carmichael Road, the junction there, and north of Soldier Road, the northbound lanes to Independence Drive. Busy for you right now. Building traffic on Carmichael westbound to Coral Harbor Road, and pockets along Soldier Road and East Street, south, especially south of the East-West Highway Independence Drive roundabout. Also seeing the traffic building in some of the major intersections like Soldier, Bernard, Wolf, and Village Road there, and Prince Charles at some of the pockets in the major intersections. So that's what we're seeing so far. We'll have another update for you after the 8 o'clock news. That's your Morning Traffic Alert, brought to you by RBC Royal Bank. And time for another check of your weather for today. We've got building high pressure that's going to produce moderate to locally strong breezes across the country, as lingering moisture north of the area will increase shower chances mainly across the northern islands through tonight. For the northwest Bahamas today, look for variably cloudy, hot, and humid conditions with isolated showers and thunderstorms mainly in the extreme northwest Bahamas through tonight. Expect gusty winds and higher seas in or near heavy showers and thunderstorms. For the central and southeast Bahamas, partly sunny to sunny, very warm, a bit hazy and breezy with quick passing showers, becoming mostly fair and warm tonight with a few light showers. Caution is in effect. High temperatures getting up to a warm 90 Fahrenheit, 32 Celsius, but the heat index in the triple digits again up to 102 Fahrenheit, 39 Celsius. Everybody is being urged to remain hydrated and limit outdoor activities. Overnight lows tonight getting down to 73 Fahrenheit, 23 Celsius. In your extended outlook, weakening high pressure will continue to dominate weather across the country tomorrow and heading into the holiday weekend. Meanwhile, a mid to upper level trough coupled with abundant tropical moisture moving in from the west will increase the likelihood of severe weather conditions across portions of the northwest and central Bahamas into the weekend. So, for tomorrow, Friday, mostly sunny and hot with isolated showers and the chance of isolated thunderstorms. Saturday, partly cloudy to cloudy and warm with scattered showers and widely scattered thunderstorms. In the northwest and central Bahamas, partly sunny and warm with isolated showers and thunderstorms for the southeast Bahamas. So at least the first part of the holiday weekend could be wet. In the tropics, we've got a weak area of low pressure about a couple hundred miles off the coast of Florida that has a low to 20% chance of tropical cyclone formation through the next 5 days, as that system, which used to be very near to us, is moving north to northeastward at this time. So that's what we're looking at. That's your real-time weather and your Morning Blend weather. We'll be back with more Morning Blend after these messages here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
What happened to you? You look like you lost your paycheck.
Man, I just realized I got scammed out of a bunch of money. They said I won this contest and just needed it. I mean, to expedite something. Or was it to smooth the process?
Man, you're smarter than that. Protect yourself against scams and fraud by following these steps. If you know you didn't enter a competition, you can't win. Never pay to receive a cash prize. If you're being asked, you're being scammed. Check trusted internet sites for verification of information given to you. Do not give your banking details to people you don't know. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. Monitor your bank account regularly for any questionable transactions. Get more information at getmoneysmartbahamas.com.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection. Initial orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Have you heard about the COVID vaccine raffle? If you are vaccinated against COVID-19, you can enter to win amazing prizes like food store gift certificates, hotel stays, beach excursions, and so much more. Even if you are previously vaccinated, you can still enter to win. The COVID vaccine is free, safe, and protects you from severe COVID-19 infections. Don't delay. Get vaccinated today and enter to win. Visit www.vaxbahamas.com to register.
For 38 years, Strachan Commercial Pest Services has provided trained certified technicians while using environmentally safe, industry-standard products. Pests can devastate your business. Together, we will ensure adequate sanitation standards and safe pest exclusion methods. Uncontrolled pest problems lead to significant financial loss due to food contamination, business disruption, and stock waste. Strachan provides detailed solutions protecting your business and reputation. Strachan, #1 in.
Do you need to insure your vehicle at the best price? With the most options and free installment payments, CG Atlantic agents offer affordable coverage for everyone. Just call 677-6422 to find out how you can protect your vehicle with extra options to keep you covered. Why wait? Call CG Atlantic agents today at 677-6422. Visit us online at cgatlanticagents.com or in person at Atlantic House, 2nd Terrace and Collins Avenue. Nassau Insurance Brokers and Agents Limited, trading as CG Atlantic Agents.
Best rate, no debate. Best
rate, no delay.
BTC gives more savings on the best fiber internet. It's super fast with super savings in every package. Compare and see for yourself. Enjoy up to 150 megabits per second plus 157 TV channels and unlimited home phone minutes for only $99.99.
Best rate, no delay.
Visit a BTC store to sign up for the best internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network. Conditions apply.
Unlock your home potential with a home equity loan from RBC and let your home improvement and personal projects. Switch your mortgage to RBC today and experience the difference with no management fees, cash back on closing costs, and step-by-step guidance from our team of expert mobile mortgage finance specialists. Learn more at rbc.com/Caribbean/equity loan. Reimagine new ways to bank better with RBC.
When engaging in physical activity, it is normal for the body to get tired and fatigued. In the same way, COVID-19 has brought on fatigue, but we must not give up the fight. Wear your mask over your mouth and nose, stay at least 3 feet apart from others, wash and sanitize your hands often, and avoid touching your face. Together, we will win.
This message is brought to you by the PAHO WHO Bahamas and Turks and Caicos Country Office, the Ministry of Health, and the Healthy Bahamas Coalition.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
So I'm flying back to the island, so let's go. When you're heading beating that drum and calypso, na na na. There's a party going on. You can know till the break of dawn. Sweet music, man, it makes everyone lose control.
We're back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner from the throne yesterday, the opening of Parliament. And got a lot of your text messages here. Let's read these. This person says here, regarding the government in its speech from the throne yesterday, Prime Minister Davis and his MPs have made some bold promises. One, a new hospital likely to cost a minimum of $600 to $700 million. Increased minimum wage, increase in old age pension, a decrease in VAT, currently the most reliable revenue generator for the government. Wow, this is heavy stuff. Some big talk, but one must ask if the PLP leader consulted his finance man and to be aware the government is broke and currently borrows on a monthly basis just to pay civil servant salaries. So I'm predicting it's all fluff by this new PLP government. It won't happen. About 75% of these PLP government are promises unrealistic and won't happen. So my fellow Bahamians, like the gaming referendum a few years ago, you've been had again. Wow, that's a very long text. That was the first one that came in this morning. That's a lot first thing in the morning. That's 6 something in the morning. Okay, all right, there you go. Another one. I agree that there will be no significant benefit from our natural resources in the next 5 years. Laverne is right that it was in the speech due largely to Lincoln Bain. However, it is still selling dreams to think Bahamians will be able to receive anything near $100,000 a year from these resources. It was only lip service. Okay. Hello, a regulatory framework for cannabis industry is not the industry itself. If even the inception of this administration will be promulgated with rhetoric and straw man arguments, then Bahamians will cut their eyes quickly at them. A lot of negativity so far. Okay, here we go. Another one here. With a room of 1,300 plus people, I guess it's safe to say we can have weddings and funerals with a higher capacity now. I'll say that. Anyway, they go on to say, why hasn't the government talked about creating a national lottery where we can fix our own economy instead of all that money just going to private enterprises? Okay. The national lottery will fix the economy? Well, interesting. Okay. Dwight Laverne, 10% VAT for 1 year, and then what? Will it be increased to 15% in the next year? How can that happen? Deficit neutral. Well, Laverne, you remember that. They keep saying that they expect that would increase the buying power of the average person. They might buy more and do more things in the economy. So if you think like that.
Right. And again, one of the things that we said is we need to see how is this going to work. The speech from the throne, typically does not go into the details. We need to see the details of how this is going to work. What is the plan? Because the 2% shortfall has to be made. So those are the things that we need to pay attention to.
Right.
More so than the speech from the throne, we need to pay attention to when they're in the House and they're discussing these initiatives and what they're doing and how it's going to be done. That is what we need to be paying attention to, the how.
Mm-hmm. And they also mentioned that they'd go after the taxes that are not being collected, I guess real property tax being one of those, and others like that. So,
Even in saying that, how are you going to go? What is it that you're going to do different than previous governments? Because they all say that they're going to go after this huge amount of uncollected tax, right?
Yep.
So what makes your plan? We need to hear your plan to see how is this different or more, not just different, how is this going to be more impactful, more effective? So we got to keep paying attention and listening for those details. The speech for the throne is just, these are the things that I would like to accomplish. The discussions, the things that are going to take place in the House is going to be the how.
Well, here's another text. Boy, this really worked people up this morning. My goodness. Dwight and Laverne, I give the credit to Prescott Smith and KCX from Freeport, not Lincoln Bain, because he was only jumping on their bandwagon. Oh, my goodness. Okay, folks.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes,
you know what, Dwight? I'm so sorry I even brought it.
I think you heard me groan because I knew it was going to be. There were many others even before those two, I'm sure. This has been a thing. Many people have been calling as long as we've been on the air and long before that about. And some progress was made with the Department of anyway, the Ministry of Environment did quite a bit in trying, but a lot more work needs to be done. We know this. But yes, hopefully this is a sign that we're all now getting the picture and all moving in this direction. So everybody did great. All the people who talked about this, all the people.
Dwight, what is the scripture? Some watered, some planted. But it's God who gives the increase. And I'm being reminded of this because listen, if I could just go back. If I could turn back the hands of time.
This is what we say about everybody. When you call the show, don't call any names, please. And don't call any brand names especially. Let's keep it all very neutral, very generic so that we don't step on people's toes. People will get very, 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 very sensitive about it.
Honestly.
So let's not do that. Just say, there was a person one time. Right. That
really?
There is a company. There is a place that I go to. Yeah, let's do it like that.
You know what, Dwight? I'm not doing it. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. I'm not doing it.
Oh, wow.
Whatever.
Oh,
let the
my
chips
goodness.
fall with me.
Oh, boy. All right.
I said what I said.
Here's a text. I noticed 10% across the board. That means all exempted items will now be charged. What are we talking about? You're talking about the VAT and the exemptions that were put in place by the previous administration.
Basket items. I don't know.
It's going to be very interesting. And the Christie administration talked about that, how you shouldn't do any exemptions and how that causes confusion and can upset the revenue. And it'll be interesting to see how they do this. We will all be watching. We'll all be watching. A few more before we go to the break for the news. This one says, in this time that we find ourselves, it would have been pertinent to have that speech from the throne be about revenue generation and enhancement. Most of the other objectives will, at the end of the day, require spending. So given our economic state, let's put the focus and energy on revenue generation exercises. Otherwise, it appears that borrowing is perhaps still the strategy to fund these initiatives. Well, I don't know if that's right. Social agenda is very important, and that's critical, and it also goes hand in hand with what you're saying. All of that needed to be said. The details will be coming over the next few weeks in the debate in the House and what we hear from the politicians. But that wasn't necessarily the time for that. Not necessarily, but that's coming soon enough. Let's go to the news. We'll be back with more Morning Blend in just a bit.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for your smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us 422-4796. And now at 8:21, time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Bahamas First Insurance. We've got building high pressure that's going to produce moderate to locally strong breezes across the country as lingering moisture north of the islands will increase shower activity across the northern islands mainly through tonight. So for today, for the northwest Bahamas, we've got variably cloudy, hot, and humid conditions with isolated showers and thunderstorms, mainly in the extreme northwest Bahamas through tonight. Expect gusty winds and higher seas in or near heavy showers and thunderstorms. For the central and southeast Bahamas, partly sunny to sunny, very warm, a bit hazy and breezy with quick passing showers, becoming mostly fair and warm with a few light showers tonight. Small graph caution is in effect. Temperatures today getting up to around 90 Fahrenheit, 32 Celsius. The heat index at 102 Fahrenheit, 39 Celsius. And so everyone's being advised to remain hydrated and limit outdoor activities. Overnight lows tonight getting down to 73 Fahrenheit, 23 Celsius. In your extended outlook, weakening high pressure will continue to dominate weather across the country. Meanwhile, a mid to upper level trough coupled with abundant tropical moisture moving in from the west will increase the likelihood of severe weather across portions of the northwest Bahamas and the central islands going into the holiday weekend. All right, so for Friday, look for mostly sunny and hot conditions with isolated showers and the chance of isolated thunderstorms. Saturday, partly cloudy to cloudy and warm with scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms in the northwest and central Bahamas. Partly sunny and warm with isolated showers and thunderstorms in the southeast Bahamas. In the tropics, we're watching that area that used to be near us. It is now moving up further up north. It's a weak area of low pressure, now a couple hundred miles off the coast of Florida. It still has a low chance, about 20% chance, of tropical cyclone formation through the next 5 days as it moves to the north and northeast. But that is your Morning Blend weather check. First Insurance, what's first for you comes first for us. And time for another check of your traffic for this morning, brought to you by RBC Royal Bank. We've got heavy traffic on Milo Butler Highway in your real-time traffic. That's from Fire Trail all the way up to Tonic Williams Darling Highway. It's backed up along Fire Trail as well this morning and south of that roundabout. Glass Road looking better for you, but still heavy traffic in the northbound lane as you get closer to JFK Drive. Blue Hill Road is also challenging this morning, especially north of Seoul, heading to the roundabout with Independence Drive. And further south near Blue Hill Road, Carmichael Road to Blue Hill backed up quite a ways there. You're going to be seeing that traffic well past Fire Trail if you're heading eastbound at spots, but especially the closer you get to Blue Hill Road. Further south on Blue Hill near St. Vincent Road, and then the intersection with Cowpen and Zion Boulevard, you'll be seeing more heavy traffic there. We've got pockets along East Street South, especially northbound between Soldier and Independence Drive, and further north of that roundabout. As you approach Robinson Road, that intersection, very heavy traffic there. And further along Robinson near Marathon, and Robinson and Soldier, and then Prince Charles Drive and Beatrice Avenue, and Prince Charles Drive and Fox Hill Road. Those are your hot spots this morning. That's your real-time traffic and your Morning Blend traffic alert, brought to you by RBC Royal Bank, banking reimagined.
to buy. I got sugar selling, cause it's lies you're telling. I inviting everybody to visit my industry. Oh yes, man. Come in the hour if you want some sugar. You won't.
We're back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner on this Thursday morning. We're getting your reaction to the speech from the throne, the opening of Parliament yesterday, what was said in the speech, and talk about the spectacle of it all as well. And we know we still have questions. I don't know if we've heard any responses yet as to the cost of that money. So we, have you heard anything, Laverne? I haven't heard anything official yet.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, so that would be good to know. Good to know what was spent. That was a big production yesterday. Bringing in, did you see? Oh, you say you didn't get to see
I
it.
think production is a great word.
I mean, it looked like they looked like the house that brought in all these things. The barrack.
Yes,
My
it
goodness.
did.
It was boy.
I saw some pictures. I was like,
right? Where'd they get that from? Is that
wow?
Anyway, but it'd be good to know. I don't know if we've. Can we get an answer? Maybe we need to ask some of our before the election. They were very frequent callers. The PLP, the rabid supporters, if they would know, maybe they could tell us. Let's
did you say? Did you say avid or rabid?
Well, both. I said rabid though, but
okay.
let's see. Maybe we can conjure them up. Let's get some conjuring music in here so that we could, so we could hear the Antons and even Dave. Do we want Dave?
Are you specifically calling for Anton and Dave?
These people know everything. Let's turn up our conjuring music.
This is certainly a new day.
Yeah. PLPs, call in. You all know everything. Tell us, how much did that cost yesterday? We died to know. Be
specific of why you want them to call in now.
Yes, that's the reason.
The call is for the purpose of letting us know what yesterday cost.
And Dave, it's only for today. Don't get it twisted. But you know everything. You know everything.
And do not call anyone's name.
Well, if he knows who authorized the big spending, yeah. So we're
even
conjuring.
If he does, I'm asking him not to say.
Okay. All right. So let's Oh, is it Dave? Oh, that was fast. I thought he hasn't stopped listening to us.
Right.
He knows he's
waiting.
We've blocked him, but he's still called. Okay, Dave. Oh boy. Let's turn down the conjuring music a little bit. But that was fast. That's very effective music. Good morning. Is this Dave?
Hey, Dwight, how you doing?
Hello, Dave. How are you?
I'm doing Dwight. I told you a long time ago. I told you a long time. I have nothing against you. No, your station.
Okay.
My beef is against the FM ministers. Now they're gone.
Yes.
But now, we all know the Prime Minister,
Dave, do you know how much, excuse me, Dave, do you know how much yesterday's event cost? Are you aware of the cost?
No, first of all, right, you got to pay attention to detail, right? This was planned by human ministers, okay? This was all planned, okay?
What was planned?
Listen to me carefully. UNC Alcohol Colby made a press release. Everything that happened at Bahama was pre-planned, okay? It was pre-planned.
No, I'm just asking you if you know the cost.
But I would like to know what that means too, though.
Tell you the truth, right? Like I said before, when I say prepaid, that means everything was paid. The FNM government figured they was going to win, and they would have a grand event.
Are you trying to say the FNM was going to also hold the event at Bahama?
No, Mr. Strachan, listen to me carefully.
I don't understand.
I'm trying. Mr. Strachan, the reason why I never get sued, I say here, if I come across a hash, people can't take a man talk, but I know you have to do your job. But listen to me carefully. Alcohol Colby made it clear. Events yesterday, that was pre-planned, okay? Everything was pre-planned by the FNM government, okay? So
what events were pre-planned?
No, what I'm trying to say right now is the FNM government, right? They thought they was going to win the election, so everything would happen at Bahama. That was pre-arranged, okay? That's a fact.
Are you saying that the FNM was also going to hold the opening of Parliament at Bahama?
No, probably you might hear, right? That's when Prime Minister say something, ex-Prime Minister Minister. That's when Alcohol Colby bring with the press release to prove that everything would happen at Bahama. That was planned by the FM government, straight up. Okay?
So then you're saying, no, you don't know how much it costs?
No, but to tell you the truth, I mean, Ms. Gardner, no disrespect. Certain things I don't really get into, right? Because see, wondering me, right?
Okay, so no, you don't know. I got you. No problem.
Let's speak every. The only person who will know is the cabinet officer knows. So anybody who come and say no, they talking foolishness. Right or wrong?
Oh, I don't know. But
No,
I don't know. That's
okay.
what we were just wondering. And I am listening carefully. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Well, whether they were going to do it, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Last thing, right? Remember I told you I'm Miss Gardner, right?
You're not going to call any names now, right?
No, I call no name, but I friends with that, okay? Them
You
jokers
promise?
going on, okay? Hey, them jokers going on them, okay?
Oh, okay.
Listen, Mr. Strachan. Remember I tell you Miss Gardner, the auction is on the ground, right? Remember I tell you, right?
Uh-huh.
Remember I tell you, me and Leslie Miller walk this country, Nassau, the Abago, everywhere. Everybody's saying the same thing, so the bottom line about the same, no, this is a warning to the Davis government. Listen to the people, take care of them, and you'll be all right. When you have people them who flipping people aside, playing, cheering games, and just doing a bunch of foolishness, what's happened? So, like I said, they didn't be close. Remember that?
Right. Okay.
Huh?
Okay.
Mr. Strachan, I ain't going to be against you or no talk shows, man. It's all good, okay? It's all love, okay? Anybody who can tell you a correct figure, they're talking to their head, okay? The only person who will know that is the cabinet office and the people who book it.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Appreciate it, Dave. We might be able to talk to you once in a while. We'll see. People saying that this was pre-planned and prepaid. That's very bold. Well, let's see that. Good morning. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Dwight, and good morning, Ms. Gardner, Alan Johnson.
Good morning.
Yeah, I want to speak more to speak from the throne because I hear a lot of negative undertones in regards to how we are to achieve many of these things, these ambitious goals. It is often said that if you continuously do the same thing, you'll get the same results. Essentially, and I think Dr. Miles Monroe made a good statement in regards to this, is that it requires bold, innovative, new ideas to bring about the new Bahamas that we want. And I've read the speech from the throne. I've read both the FNM and the Progressive Labour Party blueprints and manifestos. And though they contain many of the wonderful ideas, it does require a new paradigm shift in the way we do things and the way we have done things in the past. Having heard the speech from the throne and going back to promises made on the campaign trail as well as written in the blueprint for change, I don't see anything, and I challenge anyone who doesn't embrace the mindset of yesterday to reasonably say what cannot be in the speech from the throne or the blueprint for change. I think the question is going to be, do we have the willpower to do the same? Because essentially the new 21st century and the things that's been proposed requires a democratization of the economic system that we have in the Bahamas, meaning that the power will most likely have to be surrendered. The economic power would have to be surrendered to the mass of the people as opposed to the simple majority. If you look at the technological advances and the access to financing as well as things that didn't even exist 5 years ago, if we were to embrace those, we could bring about those things. Everything, and even in the concept of PPPs, the old concepts we have of where someone brings in ownership is not necessarily the new processes that can be adopted. I know it requires a lot of time. I'm hoping now that the election is over, we can have a succinct conversation on the individual things that has been proposed and the various different methods by which it can be achieved, that there's no one single solution in this new dispensation of information as well as digitization of the global economy.
Okay.
And so I want people to be open-minded and drop the old mindset and begin to embrace the new advanced information age that we're in and begin to look at, let's do this collectively together and realize that the collective intelligence of all of us will always be greater than just a select few of us.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. All right. Let's get back to your text messages here. Can you imagine? What does that mean? Anyway, all right. It is time that we find ourselves... In this time that we find ourselves... Oh, this is the same one we read before. Okay, let's go back. Anything on freedom of information? Yes, they said they're going to fully implement it as we were on the path before. Right, so that's what they've said. This one says, "I love you, Laverne." Another one here. "I love the caller's contributions. They're the one who says you got to break some eggs to make cake. Question: did they discuss relaxing policies so the Bahamians can do business internationally and get their earnings directly
Dwight?
to their personal bank accounts in the Bahamas?"
Dwight, can we just backtrack? Because I think you went over something really quickly, and I believe that somebody sent me love.
Yes.
And you just went over that.
Well, we got others to read too.
That's important. Can we just sit there for a minute?
Right. Another one here. See this one. Laverne's comments about lofty goals brought to mind our national anthem, loftier goals, as well as our motto, forward, upward, onward, together. We as a people need to take more pride in what we already have, take inspiration from our anthem or motto, buy into a plan, and do the work necessary to get where we want to go as a people. Okay, yeah. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Dwight. How are you?
Doing well.
Wonderful. Morning blend is still the same, even though it is a new day. I watched
that's a good thing, right?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay.
It is a compliment, all right?
Okay.
Yes. I listened and I watched the whole thing yesterday, and according to the reporters that were reporting, they were given the information that it was compliments of Bahama.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, about what Dave said and what everybody else is assuming, well, the reporters wasn't chastised and said they were wrong, but it seems it was free for the government.
Okay, that's very interesting.
You know, and also too, we must move forward in progress, love and unity. We're celebrating 50 golden years of our democracy in 2 short years. You know, and together we must march hand in hand and shoulder together, building our country. Once again, Dwight, thanks for letting me share.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Well, that would be very special if that is indeed what happened. Initially, I was thinking that, Bahama has a lot to be thankful for to the POP for, and perhaps I don't know. But anyway, it'll be good to get an official statement on this. Good to know. Good morning, call you on the air.
Yes, good morning, Dwight, and good morning to your co-host.
Hi.
She's still there?
Yes, she is.
Oh, yeah, he made me laugh this morning. But anyway, that's not the right cause. But, I enjoyed the speech. I think it's wonderful gifts in there. One of the gifts, if you move quickly, is local government for New Providence. There's some other gifts that are meaningful for old age pensioners, folks with disabilities, race. But the most important area in there is growing the economy and looking at how we could use the herb industry, and economic benefit way, and making money. Because a lot of ways, like you could do, a lot of things you could do with herbs. Not just smoke the brain cells. You're aware of that, right? But so you can look at that industry and a big way. So I enjoy it. I feel that if the Prime Minister go after these things in 5 years, and again, the other thing I would like to see them put back, and I think the Minister was going to talk about it, is putting back the card that Melanie Griffin introduced in a technical way. So instead of lining up like chicken to get food, put it on the card one time and big dignified and go to the food store and get your food.
Okay.
I hope we move quickly with that as soon as possible.
All right.
Easy to the bank department. Right, I enjoy it. I enjoy the ceremony. I enjoy the speeches. I enjoy the clothes. I enjoy the dressing. All being a woman can dress. Have a good day.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. This call, good morning, call, you're on the air.
Good morning, guys. How are you all this morning?
Doing well.
Yes, I think the speech from the throne about the minimum wage increase and the old age pension is a good thing at this time. And if you remember what Prime Minister Davis said, Minister, they are one of the things that he intends to do, and how he intends to curtail it as far as suspending part of it is by having the rich pay their fair share of taxes, okay? Now, I have a little ridicule for you two guys this morning, if you don't mind. Nothing bad.
Okay.
Can I go ahead?
Sure.
Okay. Dwight and what's the lady name?
Laverne. Yeah.
I think you guys need to do a little bit more journalistic, investigative reporting before you guys make statements, because I know you all thought that the PLP paid for that thing. At
No, we
That
asked.
paid.
We
Pardon me?
asked. We asked. We asked.
Yeah, we didn't say.
No, I
we didn't say
understand that you never
we were
did, but I
asking.
mean, I'm quite sure you all were thinking that the PLP were the one that was paying for that. Okay?
We asked.
That was prepaid and pre-planned by the F&M government because they so sure they was going to win the government. And do you remember the cabinet buildings right now being demolished? Okay, that's the reason why it wasn't held downtown anymore. Okay, have a nice day.
Okay. Yeah. You know, have you
I
seen that
think
in
we were
writing
just
anywhere,
asking
folks?
For the cost.
You saw that in writing anywhere? Everyone's saying it like they know. Where? Yeah, and everyone. Oh, did you know? Like where? Who? Did you see the statement from the?
Our question was not. Let's clarify this just
Yeah.
in case
Well, this is the
anybody else
politics,
wants to
Laverne. That's
call.
how they do it.
Our question was not focused on the who paid for it. What we wanted to know was what was the cost.
What was the cost?
Saying that what did it cost? We weren't trying to find out who paid.
Let me tell you something.
I believe it was Dave who brought up the who of
Right.
paying.
See, this
and
is.
I then said, so do you know the cost?
This is some real foolishness going on here.
Know.
Real foolishness going on here. In the statement from the government on the Office of Department of State as to why they were doing it, which people were upset about, and they met this plan in place, right? So all of us did not know this. Stop it right now. Stop it. Absolute nonsense. Come on. And this is why. See that conjuring music? Anyway.
My question still though is, does anyone know how much it costs?
Where's the official statement?
Regardless of who paid for it, do we know the cost of it?
Yeah. Where's the official statement?
Can answer that?
The new government was getting all kinds of flack for moving this to Bahamar. There were people I heard on some other stations running on about how this is unconstitutional, and the F&M issued that statement about how you can't have it outside the city of Nassau. Seriously? Everybody needs to stop their foolishness right now. Issue an official statement on what this was. Issue the statement so we can all be on the same page, because some of y'all know some stuff that the rest of us don't know. So let's begin with the real transparency, right? All right. So stop. Anyway, let's take this call. Good morning, call. You're on the air.
Morning, Dwight and guess how y'all doing?
We're doing well. Good morning.
Y'all starting to give me a headache. Let me tell you why. We done stay long time, F&M and PLP, same side, two different sides of the same coin.
Boy, I tell you.
What we complaining about? We know what we used to get. What in the world we complaining about?
We're not complaining yet. We're just saying, can we just get some answers? Some simple questions.
What are we asking questions and answers for? We know what we was to get. Y'all gave me a headache and Panadol, regular Panadol, ain't waking.
Oh, dear.
We know what we was getting ourselves into.
Well, you're getting a little ahead of yourself, but this is a simple thing, right? But
you think I'm getting a little getting a little ahead of myself? Almost 55 years, and from 73.
You gotta have some faith. Have some faith. This gotta have some faith. You know, this is just a little thing.
Sit down, Dwight, and y'all let's enjoy the ride. Where we land, nobody knows.
Oh dear.
But let's enjoy the ride. And them PLP pundits like what just called before me, don't worry about them. They crumb catchers. I really don't blame them. I don't blame them because they catching a lot of crumbs. You probably wouldn't want to see what he's driving, like one of your $80,000 Ford F-150, full cab and everything. So don't worry about them.
I don't know what's happening.
Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you very much. What's going on right now? I don't know. Don't know what that is. Okay. Anyway, let's get back to the message. We'll come to you in a second, caller. Quite a few here. But that music was a little too effective earlier.
I just want you to know you started this.
Now we need an exorcist.
All you.
We need the exorcist. Get it out. Okay. Someone says, what about reparations? What now? Okay. This one says, I picked up a check from the post office. This check was made up in June by a reputable company. They gave the bank where this check should be cashed. Obviously, by September, the money should have been available. So why did the bank tell me that I have to have an account with them? I then went to my bank where my salary is deposited. They said this check had to be on my account for 3 days. So no banks cash checks on the spot anymore. How could this happen? Am I missing something? Well,
banks do cash checks on the spot
if you have an account.
If you have an account,
Yeah.
and the person who wrote the check
has the same account,
both at
same bank.
at the same bank,
Right?
Then you can get it cashed immediately.
Yep.
Other than that, if you take it to your bank, they are going to hold it for at least 3 days because it has to go through the check, the clearing. It has to be cleared, right? So that's what's going to happen.
Yep, that's how it's been like that for a little while, actually.
Yeah, it has.
This one says here, the promises of pension and other increases requiring tax increases is not necessary. When we consider the loss through corruption and financial waste, if these can be significantly reduced or controlled with the aim to eliminate, this will be more than 90% of the resolution. It's not going to be easy because of our culture of corruption. But with drive, determination, transparency, accountability, ownership, measuring, review, and making required adjustments, we can change this. We'll get there together as Bahamians. Okay, so they're saying we don't need to.
I agree. I agree with that texture.
Tighten things up, and it should be fine. Okay, well, that's easy. All of us have to be willing to tighten things up, right? Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. This one says here, we have a serious problem in our country. The youth of this nation are leaving. The numbers may seem small, but I'm sure all of us can think of it. 5 people who have gone off to school and never returned and have no intentions of returning. Recently, I was reminiscing on my high school days, and I realized that 5 of them have relocated with their families. Something for this new administration to think about. If we can't keep our youth, what will be our future? Yep, there are many countries in the eastern part of the world that can show you what the future would be like. They're having those issues as well, aging populations, and it's not good. It's not good. Another one, I am of the belief that the promise of minimum wage will be phased in. With the phased-in livable wage is what the government hopes to achieve first with the public service, with the hope that the private sector will follow. I'm hoping that there will be some incentives to entice the private sector to grasp the concept. I'm also of the view, based on my Grammy, that a promise is a comfort to a fool, but actions speak louder than words. I will remind the PM of his government's promises. I also suggested you start reserving a few minutes of your show to speak to the people's issues. A good place to start is with the government's promises. Can I also ask that you repeat the email to send the concerns on a daily basis as a reminder? Email to send your concerns. Did we ever have that? Okay, but you can always email morningblend@nasgard.com. That's scary if that's what you're going to do to that poor email address. morningblend@nasgard.com. That fills up very easily. Okay, good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, lady and gentlemen.
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
I don't know if you know the difference between Atlantis and Bahama has somebody who has a relationship with the government. And you all should know his name and what he does. So I can tell you offline. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay. That doesn't answer any
do
questions.
you know Dwight?
Everybody has a relationship with everybody here. This is a very tiny,
No, but do
tiny,
you
tiny
know
country.
specifically what the caller was speaking about? Maybe you can tell me offline.
That still doesn't answer our questions. But okay. But sure, everybody's related here, you know. Everybody, you're only like six degrees separated. 6 degrees.
6 degrees of separation.
Maybe even 4. In this place. 4. All right, let's take this call and we've got to take a break. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Hi. I'm calling because I hear you all asking about what it cost
Yeah.
for the function yesterday. But I want to say something before I tell you what I know it costs. The after every opening of Parliament, it used to be at Government House when it was available. You'll go to Government House and they'll have a huge party because everybody invite their friends and family to the opening, and so they have a big huge thing, and the government pays. I never hear anyone over, and I've been going to them from 1968. No one asks how much it costs, because the cost was not important. Because whatever it cost, it was paid for, was shared out to the Bahamian people. So the cost doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does. You think the cost at Government House would be similar to the cost at Bahamar?
No, but Government House would be cheaper.
Oh, okay. So that's
would be
why
cheaper.
that's why people are asking.
that's why we're
asking.
Why would you ask what it costs a day after?
No, we were asking
one would know
before.
what it costs
We were
today.
asking before.
No one would ask. No one would know what it costs. If you have a function at the hotel, it start off costing you A, and by the time the function goes on and blah blah blah, it comes up to be B. But the point I make is how much did it cost the Bahamian people to pay for the QCs that came to do the Frank Smith and Gibson's case?
Yeah, we want to know all those things. We've always wanted to know.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be more important?
All of those
what
are
it cost
important.
to feed some people some hors d'oeuvres?
Okay. Well, hey, everybody has different priorities. It would be good to know. All of those things we want to know. What's the issue? What's the problem? We want to know. Yeah, whether you like it or not, we want to know. We're curious. We'd like to know. Okay? Let's take a break. When we come back, we've got the winners of the Bahamas COVID vaccination raffle for today. That's after the break. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
You invest in your children, your home, and your community. But are you investing in your financial future? At CFAO, we specialize in investment management, retirement planning, mutual funds, and private wealth management. Our team of experts never stops helping you plan for tomorrow. Because tomorrow begins today. Call us at 502-7010. Advisors can do for you. CFAO, growing wealth for future generations.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Breakfast just got better at Wendy's. Introducing the Breakfast Biggie Bag. Enjoy a double sausage muffin with 2 square sausage patties, a freshly cracked egg, and cheese served on a toasted English muffin, a medium waffle fries, and an orange juice for only $5.25, VAT inclusive. And an apple pie for just $1 more.
Say what?
At Wendy's, better breakfast is all day. Offers valid in participating locations. Wendy's, different inside and out.
Physical distancing isn't the same as being socially distant. I know that sometimes it can be being able to engage in the in-person social activities that we did before, whether that be going to the movies or just hanging out in person. But remember that different does not mean distant. As the generation of technology, we can get creative in planning virtual parties with friends and family. Play online games with friends. Plan virtual family parties, start a cooking competition among cousins, or do a virtual dance party. If you do gather in person, however, remember to avoid gathering in large groups. Always ensure that you wear your mask to cover your mouth and nose. And remember, wash and sanitize your hands often.
This message is brought to you by the PAHO WHO Bahamas and Turks and Caicos Country Office, the Ministry of Health, and the Healthy Bahamas Coalition.
Reimagine Auto Wow with RBC Financing.
Drive home happiness with RBC financing affordable packages. Experience the RBC difference with up to 100% financing, extended repayment terms, and step-by-step guidance from a team of mobile experts. Find out more at rbc.com/Caribbean/auto loan. Reimagine auto wow with RBC.
Hurricane season is here. If you're not prepared, it can really turn your life upside down. Fortunately, there's CG Atlantic General. Our people are here, ready to assist at a moment's notice, with protection like alternative accommodation for those who are displaced due to a storm. It's our priority to make sure you have what you need when you need it most. So when your life gets turned upside down, we can help to turn it around. CG Atlantic General. Good like that. Security and General Insurance Company Limited Trading is contact a CG Atlantic General broker today.
Technology serves to make our lives better, so why not your business too? At Custom Computers, we've been maintaining our knowledge and relationships with top tech companies since 1987 and carry only the most trusted brands like Apple, Microsoft, HP, and more. No company has helped more businesses build reliable IT systems than Custom Computers. You name it, we've done it. Call 396-1101 to talk to any of our business experts. Find trust in your tech. Count on Custom Computers.
Have you heard about the COVID vaccine raffle? If you are vaccinated against COVID-19, you can enter to win amazing prizes like food store gift certificates, hotel stays, beach excursions, and so much more. Even if you are previously vaccinated, you can still enter to win. The COVID vaccine is free, safe, and protects you from severe COVID-19 infections. Don't delay. Get vaccinated today and enter to win. Visit www.vaxbahamas.com to register.
People helping people to help themselves.
All right, watch this. The credit union of the Bahamas, drop card ain't got nothing on them. There's the plug.
People helping people to help themselves.
Don't believe me? Join the credit union and watch your money grow like Chef and Needle.
Credit unions are smarter choice. Higher rates on your savings.
Yeah, go join one.
Credit unions are smarter choice. More money you make.
More what? Stop that.
Credit unions are smarter choice. Higher rates on your savings.
Let me get my money there.
Credit unions are smarter choice. More money you make.
Join
a credit union. Watch your savings grow with higher interest rates. Become a member and purchase some shares. Then ownership is coming your way. They offer local banking members the owner. Personalized service. Come and join the credit union, and your choice will be the smartest. Credit union, higher rates on your savings.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
And it's time for the Bahamas COVID vaccination raffle drawing, which we do every day here on Morning Blend. We've got two winners, two great prizes. These are some good ones today. My goodness. Okay, so Laverne, you ready for this? Yeah, Laverne? You ready? Is she there?
I'm
go.
ready.
All right, so here are the prizes. The second prize is 2 seats on Aqua Shores Exuma Excursion. 2 seats on Aqua Shores Exuma Excursion. And the big prize is a 2-night stay at Comfort Suites. 2-night stay at Comfort Suites. Oh, man, these are great. These are both great. Okay, so let's do this. We've got, let's pump that music up a little bit as we get ready to pick the winner of the 2 seats on Aqua Shores Exuma Excursion. All right.
I'll take anyone. Anyone's right. I'll take anyone.
The winner of the 2 seats on Aqua Shores Exuma Excursion, Ferguson. Travis Ferguson, you are the winner.
Congratulations, Travis.
Congratulations. Wonderful stuff. The U.S. Embassy is going to be in contact with you. to tell you how you can collect your prize. Now, here's the big one. The big one. 2-night stay at Comfort Suites.
Fingers crossed.
Oh, my. And the winner is... Wow. Someone... Stephen Hanna? What? Is it the same Stephen Hanna?
If it is, it doesn't matter. Whoever, even if it isn't, congratulations, Stephen.
Stephen with a V. I don't know. But anyway, Stephen Hanna has won 2-night stay at Comfort Suites. My goodness. Well, look at that. Congratulations to whoever that Stephen Hanna is. And congratulations to Travis Ferguson.
Every time I'm waiting for you to call my name and it's not happening.
Oh, my. And if you are thinking like Laverne, you're wondering what's going on, well, you got to figure out if you are registered. Are you registered? Got to go on vaxbahamas.com. If you're vaccinated or partially vaccinated or even vaccinated somewhere else, you are good to go. Register vaxbahamas.com. And every day we are giving out these prizes with the U.S. Embassy. Right here in Morning Blend, we announce the winners. And it could be you tomorrow. If you log on, vaxbahamas.com to be a part of the Bahamas COVID vaccination raffle. Let's all get vaccinated, Bahamas. Okay, great stuff there. Again, congratulations to our winners. And good luck tomorrow. Hey, we're going to take a break for news. When we come back, Morning Blend Business, we've got a lot going on. We're going to talk with BTC. They've got some special things going on, BTC Business. And we may have time to get into more on what came out of the speech from the throne yesterday. We're going to see. This is Morning Blend on this Thursday morning. Stay with us.
We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's all right.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Pakistan. And the Nobel Prize for Literature goes to Abdul Razak Gurnam of Tanzania. I'm Jackie Quinn.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Thursday, October 7th, 2021. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan, joined by Laverne Gardner. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners, and we'll get back to the politics and the speech from the throne and the opening of Parliament a little bit later. But right now, we are talking with BTC, which is celebrating Small Business Month this October, and they've got a lot of exciting things planned to celebrate small businesses here this morning from BTC Business. We're very pleased to have back with us our friend Tennille Simmons. Tennille, good morning. Great to be talking with you again.
Good morning. Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Laverne. And good morning to your listeners.
All right. Good morning. This is exciting. Small Business Month. Let's talk about this. How long has this been going on now?
This is actually our 5th year celebrating Small Business Month.
That's amazing.
You know, I had a chuckle to myself when we realized it was the 5th month that we were going for so long. But yeah, the 5th month, 5th year. Sorry.
Yeah.
We've been celebrating.
That's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. What is the thinking behind it? Why do this?
Mm-hmm. Just because of the nature of our small business community and what they mean to our economy, right? So we know that 80% of our economy is made up of small business owners. And we use this time to educate because we host workshops, trainings, different what we call events for them to just learn what they need to know to get their business to the next level. And then also we use this to highlight them because one of the things that we found was a lot of small business owners, it's difficult when you get into the business to start advertising, marketing. That can be a high cost to them sometimes. So by partnering with them, to produce great videos for them, have them join on with us when we do these sort of events, is a great way for them to advertise who they are and how persons can get in contact with them.
Yeah.
And this has been a difficult time. So
Absolutely.
we're definitely trying to assist them as best as we can.
How receptive are they
Tennille,
to
if I
this?
could ask,
Oh.
sorry, Dwight,
Go ahead.
over the past 5 years, the small businesses, have you gotten feedback in terms of you partnering with them and how it's impacted their business? What has like the overall general impact been?
Yes, absolutely. So it's been mixed every year after, we've completed a month of celebration. We always follow it up to get feedback to see what we can do different, how we can change. Was there something that we missed? And each year we incorporate the feedback that we get from these small business owners to, change the way we do things. So right now, we're in our second year of it being a fully virtual environment. And the first year, we were skeptical. Should we continue? No, they wanted us to continue. They wanted us to they gave us ideas in terms of who they wanted us to bring in terms of keynote speakers, what they wanted to see in terms of a workshop. So this year in our workshops, we've added a lot more persons speaking about, how to incorporate digital payments in my business operation. And then also digital advertising, because a lot of the younger entrepreneurs, they may not have the brick and mortar, right? And their business is pretty much everywhere they are. So they're really focusing on that digital advertising to help them grow their business. So they wanted to see speakers that can help in that regard as well. So we do take the feedback, we take the good, we take the not so good, and we definitely see how we can make it even better for them.
Yeah.
And then also what I did not mention was our Family Island business operators. We got feedback from them that they felt, the first few years that it was very Nassau-centric. And this year and last year, what we did was we had specific workshops tailored to specific islands so that they can, get a feel of their own little small business month within those various islands as well. And then, of course, reaching out to them more so they can be part of the bigger event.
Wow, that was going to be my question about the reaction, the response you get from the small businesses. You mentioned it though about the marketing challenges for a small company, and some not exactly knowing how to go about this, promoting themselves. And we know what happens here. A lot of people rely on Facebook, and we saw what happened on Monday. And
absolutely.
That's pretty scary.
Facebook went down, and subsequent to Facebook was the Instagram and WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And we got it because last year we introduced what we call our digital smart solutions. And our digital smart solutions allow customers to get a website created for them, as well as have an online store incorporated on that website. And we're offering that to our small business owners absolutely free.
Oh, wow.
That offer was free, I should say free for 12 months. I have to make sure I put that in there. Free
for the first 12 months, you get that free.
For the first 12 months,
okay.
Right? It's still, still significant, right? Because we know 12 months. If you could shave off 12 months of operational expense, that's great, right? So that actually was birthed from what happened last year with COVID and, a lot of brick and mortar having to close down because, of course, they weren't deemed essential. And so they wanted to be able to figure out, how do I keep my business going? And then, of course, a lot of small business owners, they're the expertise in their business for what they do. So if you're talking about a hairstylist is great at hairstyling. She's not an IT, or he's not an IT specialist. He's not a marketing specialist. He's not interested in writing content to go online. And so our Smart Solutions pack came in great that way because we get your website up and running if you if you have all your information and your photos, we can get it up within 5 to 7 business days. Somebody literally works along with you. We also have where we have a digital 24/7 digital help desk. So if you want to start where you're putting your business on Instagram and Facebook, right? You have the ability to do so because we have somebody to get your business set up on Facebook and Instagram. And what we tell them is don't use that as your primary place of doing business or advertising your business. Use it as a redirect. So you can advertise what's going on, but when persons want to find out a bit more and actually shop, redirect them to your website because that's where you own that content, and you're not at the mercies in the event something happens to WhatsApp or Facebook or Instagram. You're not at the mercies of saying, okay, well, you've lost all your information because you've hosted it on somebody else's site.
Right. Very scary. I hope a lot of people got that message, especially after what happened on Monday.
Yes.
So after the 12 months, what happens?
So after the 12 months, it's not a huge investment. It's just $9 a month.
Oh.
Yes, $9 a month. So we work with them. We make sure that they get their domain, in the name of their business or something, very catchy for, that represents their business. We set it up. We start off with 3 to 5 pages. So, your about us, your shopping page, your photos, whatever it is that they want to put there. We set all of that up and we work with them. They get a preview of everything before it goes live and they're able to use it for 12 months at no cost to them. And should they wish to keep it after 12 months, it's $9 a month.
That's pretty good. Tell us more. You've got some special bundles as well for small businesses.
Yes, absolutely. So we would have introduced and just revamped a little bit of what we've been doing in terms of our bundle offering. We, as our team, our technical team, they've been doing such a fantastic job with the technical rollout of our fiber infrastructure. And so, we would have initially some years ago just started in the eastern area. And since then, we've grown and expanded so much in terms of that fiber infrastructure layout. And so we're into different areas, a lot of highly populated business areas. And so now we're able to offer business customers that once was not able to get such blazing fast speed to their business, up to 600 megs to their business, never before seen for small business owners. Very disruptive broadband speeds when we talk about download speeds. And then bundle that with mobile plans. Our mobile plans start at 10 gig and go all the way up to 150 gig. But in the bundles, they can get their mobile plan as well as the fiber speed. And then we're offering an iPhone 12 free with our Elite plan. So we only offer 3 plans, and the Elite plan is our third and most preferred plan in terms of the speeds that you can get because it's the highest speed. It's the highest amount of mobile in terms of data, 20 gigs of data. It also comes with your international roaming as roaming minutes and roaming data. And then we offer the iPhone 12 absolutely free in that plan. In each one of our plans, you get the ability to, if you don't have a website, we're going to get that. We bundle that in there so we can give you a month. Or if you say that, you just need digital help desk where you want somebody to come and help you set up your social media sites, that's in there as well. And that's offered free for 12 months. After 12 months, it's only $6 a month. And then let's say, for instance, one of 2 islands, Freeport and Abaco, that we've been working with, one of the solutions in that pack, digital storage, or I should say cloud storage. We know a lot of small business owners, they're still using the manila folders, the jump drives to store their documents and their customers' documents. And so the storage allows them to, keep all of that in a safe place. And should something happen, they always have access to it, right? So, you don't have to worry about a lot of our businesses in Freeport and Abaco where their buildings were damaged and they lost a lot of information. It's very difficult to restart. Some of them just restarting. One in particular I can mention, Sawyer's Market. So they have an opening coming up on the 16th of October, and we're going to be down there with them, with this grand opening that they're having. But they lost a lot during one of the things that we also try to do, along with, offering our business customers great bundle offerings for them to continue to operate their business, we partner along with them. So when there's milestones with openings, great promotions and sales, we partner with them. So we actually go there. We set up a radio remote for them. We come out and make sure that they have great freebies that they can offer their customers as they come on in. And we do special promotions as well along with them. So the partnership goes beyond just the sale.
That's fantastic stuff going on. This is very exciting. Very exciting. All right. So all of these specials they're available beyond
right now.
Small Business Month?
They're available right now.
Okay.
Persons who are interested can call us at 302-7200. That's 302-7200. It's what we call our business class support line. So it's dedicated for just small business operators. So that was one of the things that we ensured that we did. We know that we have a business section, and sometimes, enterprise, or we say the larger customers can sometimes take priority over the, where they would be able to call in to get help if they need it. So our enterprise customers or our larger customers have a different line and a different group of persons that actually assist them based off their needs. And so we carved out our team of business class support that just help our small business customers. And that dedicated line is 302-7200. So
right.
Yes, everything that I spoke about is available right now.
So what's your definition of a small business as opposed to the larger enterprise businesses?
Yeah, so it's a bit of two things that I look at, right? So I look at revenue in terms of the spend. So there are some small business owners in terms of their spend because of their size. You're looking at maybe $150, $200 bucks a month that they can afford based off spend when we talk about telecoms. And then when you also look at employee size as well, right? So there are some small business owners that can range as a solopreneur up to about, we've seen 6 to 10 employees. They are still considered small business.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay. And then you've got some other things going on. You mentioned it earlier, Small Business Fridays, innovation. Tell us about that. What happens on Fridays?
Yes, Small Business Fridays. Small Business Fridays comes under the umbrella of our innovation co. Our marketing team, led by Carol Barnett, came up with the idea of this innovation conference where we're going to bring the best, the brightest stars from around the world, from business coaches and motivational speakers and successful entrepreneurs to come and share their story, because that's one of the things that a lot of us connect on. We connect on persons, their story, right? And that's the first thing. And so we wanted persons to come and share their story on the successes, as well as some triumphs and some failures, because people learn from those as well. And so the team was, putting together the best and the biggest and the brightest speakers. And so our first year, we would have kicked off at Bahamar. It was very successful. We had over 250 plus persons in attendance just to that one event. And we had a cadre of speakers, as well as small business owners that had what we call a setup for a vendor space. And so that event was so successful that we vowed that we were going to continue it thereafter, because we were just trying it out to see, the response. And so, of course, the next year, COVID hit, and we had to move all of that greatness into a virtual environment. And it still was successful. We still had persons being able to log in and join us every single Friday. And what we found was we got even more persons because of the virtual environment. We got more persons to join who probably would not have been able to attend in person.
Wow.
Here, we're doing it even better. We're partnering with our Flow Business colleagues in Barbados, Trinidad, as well as Jamaica. And so every single Friday, starting this Friday, what we call Small Business Fridays, there's going to be...
I'm looking at this list. We need to have a drum roll for this. This is crazy.
Yes, the list, and the thing it was, Dwight, we created the list to get that same reaction.
Wow.
Because, yes, a lot of persons, when they saw the keynote speakers on that list, they were like, business? Really?
And you're starting with a bang tomorrow.
Yes, we're starting out with a bang tomorrow with Allison Hines.
What?
Yes,
Say that again.
Allison Hines.
Okay. She's going to be the keynote speaker tomorrow.
Yes. So tomorrow, starting at 10 a.m., Allison will be joining us as our keynote speaker. And, you know, we know her as the dancehall soca queen, but we also don't know, some of us may know, that she's also a very successful entrepreneur.
Wow.
You know, and the great thing about this is it doesn't fall away from any other model that we've seen before, right? So look at some of these celebrities and the entertainers in the business. You know, they use that brand to branch out into other brands, to build other businesses, right? And that's how those businesses become successful, because they're using the notoriety from, you know, the entertainment industry to build those other businesses. And that's what we're going to find out. I think it's also going to resonate right here with a lot of our local artists, musicians who were not able to, you know, perform and present themselves in person because of, you know, the not being able to have events. A lot of them locally, we've seen pivoted and started businesses online, different spaces, and using their brand as an entertainer to grow that business. And the same thing with Allison, right? Allison is in so many different business operations and doing so well. And just being an entertainer alone, that's a business, right? Because at the end of the day, you know, when you're handling bookings and you're negotiating fees and contracts, and you're planning, or I should say budgeting, with the income that you're getting from these shows and performances, that's running a business. And she's going to talk about that, as well as the other business ventures that she's in. And then we move next week on the 15th with Trisha Casal, and she's going to come and speak about, she's from Trinidad. She's going to come and speak about her experience within the manufacturing business. And that's a huge one. I think that's one where a lot of persons are going to be interested in seeing what's happening there in Trinidad from a manufacturing perspective, and kind of relating what's happening even here in that same space as well. Wow. And then, of course, the very one that a lot of persons had that eyebrow raised, just with Allison Hines. The third week in October, the third Friday in October, is out Spice. Or I should say Grace Hamilton. Some may not know as Grace Hamilton. So that's October 22nd.
My goodness.
Be Spice as our keynote speakers. A lot of persons would know her from, you know, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. You know, also know her again as the dancehall soca queen. But Spice is also a very successful business operator. She's managing, you know, a clothing boutique, a hair and accessories and beauty essentials business, and a number of other different ventures. She's also looking into real estate as well. She just completed a very, very interesting interview on Forbes the other day, talking about, you know, her humble beginnings and where she started from, and how now she's just seeing the fruits of her labor from a successful business on. So that's really going to be a great keynote that we're looking forward to hearing.
It's going to be great. Wow.
Yeah. Yes. And then finally on October 29th, the last Friday in the month, is Natasha Main, and she's dubbed as the Vogue Attorney. All right. So she's not just a traditional boutique law firm. She's the lawyer that steps into the courtroom with the design of bright colored suits. We know normally in the courtroom you wear your black, your navies, your grays. That's not her. And she's shown how, you know, just being true to herself and not being conventional has been sort of like her recipe for success. And so she's going to talk about running her boutique law firm, and then some of the things that she's doing just a little bit differently in that industry that has caused her to really be recognized and be successful for what she's doing.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. What's the format going to take? Are we going to be able to interact with the speakers at all, or how will it work?
Yes. So the keynote speakers are going to kick it off. So, you know, normally you would have a lot of different speakers and the keynotes come at the end. This time, the keynote speakers are going to kick it off at 10 a.m. And then what we've added was breakout sessions, because we wanted something where the persons that are tuning in are going to be able to take something tangible from each day. So the breakout sessions are broken out based off of subject matters, or I should say expertise, subject matter experts that are going to be talking about different things: digital payments, digital advertising, how you can now extend your product beyond just locally. So for instance, somebody's going to be talking about distribution, expanding your distribution channels. So if you want, like say for instance, I always talk about one of our entrepreneurs that I met up with in Eleuthera Beauty. It's run by Candace, makes these handmade products right in Eleuthera. But she also ships throughout the family. One of the things that you're going to hear about in that session is beyond.
Are we losing Tennille? Yep. Having an issue there. Okay, we're going to get back with Tennille. No, okay, let's deal with that. Let's take the break and then come back with Tennille, and we'll have more on this. It's Small Business Month at BTC. Having a great discussion. We'll pick it up once we reconnect with her after the break. This is Morning Blend on Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
Wait, why you look so mashed up like clothes at the washer?
No, but just a hard day, Dwight.
Hard day? What happened? The breakfast lady ran out of tuna and Gretzy.
We need to start joking about everything, you know. This serious, boy. This real serious, boy.
Wait, what's serious? Tell me.
All right, well, today, boss gave us boy one big contract. And nobody else get a chance and nobody say nothing.
Boy, you know that ain't right. You know government contracts ain't supposed to go that way.
Yeah, but nobody's saying nothing. Boss man just tell people to sign the papers. Then he send me to meet his boy downtown and collect this envelope.
You need to tell somebody. You need to become a whistleblower.
You know I's a real man, but I never blow no whistle. I be drunk all my life and drunk, you know.
No way. A whistleblower is someone who tells people what they see when they see something wrong happening at work.
But I ain't no whistleblower, and I ain't no snitch. I still white there, you know.
But ain't nobody can know it's you. All you gotta do is call Crime Stoppers, or you could text them from inside the Crack Crime Bahamas app. They don't ask about you. And your call goes straight through to Miami, so nobody know you is. And if you text, your message get mixed up like Kong Salad.
Call 377 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands. This traffic report is brought to you by Shield Insurance and Prudential Law Adjusters.
This much into our final hour of the Traffic Watch, and the Southwest Gateways still the challenge for getting out into the city. Slight improvement out there on Gladstone Road, not hung up as hefty. Line still waiting to get out, but not as bad as it was earlier. You got a great exit happening over there into the JFK roundabout there at Bahamar. Samalabala Highway has improved, mind you, but you still got lengthy traffic lines on that northbound dual lane heading out there on the 20 million highway. Still going to be some time before they all get out of there. Carmichael Road is pretty good. You got a relatively easy ride now getting through the Blue Hill Road intersection. Minor slope to get over the hill there at Blue Hill Road into the $20 million roundabout below. That's also been complicated by the westbound traffic on Independence Drive headed into that same Blue Hill roundabout. Kind of backed up there, but give that some time and that's going to be cleared away as well. East Street from in the deep south. It's gotten a bit busy in the last half hour or so for traffic heading into the city along that route, especially after you cross over the Soldier Road intersection and headed into the East Street roundabout ahead at Independence Drive. And while the remainder of the island still has a reasonable flow of traffic going on, there are some spots out here where it's been turned up. For example, the Eastern Road still got a hefty traffic line leading out there on the Shirley Street. And the ride along Prince Charles Drive coming into the city, not as smooth, but you have some slowdowns along the way there, even though you don't have any lengthy congestions. At least not until you cross over Soldier Road headed into that Marathon intersection. Six-leg roundabout, seeing a little bit of a slow up around there. Not no hefty traffic lines, but it's a bit slow getting around the six-leg roundabout. Coming in from the west along West Bay Street, you will experience a slow up at the Saunders Beach roundabout area. But once you get through that, it's a relatively easy ride coming into the city along West Bay Street. This National Traffic Report is service of Garden of Eden, where you're able to enjoy delicious Bahamian breakfast every Thursday through Sunday, starting at 7:30 and lasting until 3 o'clock in the afternoon by 7:04. With your Ryan Sky local traffic in real time, I'm VAAA.
Michael was in a horrible car accident. Prudential Loss Adjusters managed his claim and got him the settlement he deserved. Sierra's roof received hurricane damage. Thanks to Prudential, she and her kids are happy with their claim settlement. Tammy fractured her ankle in a slip and fall. Prudential saved her time, money, and peace of mind. Prudential Loss Adjusters are here for you whenever a tragedy strikes. Call 322-4026 now.
Protect the things that really matter to you. Shield Insurance is the insurance company that grows with you to meet your insurance needs through this beautiful adventure we call life. From automobile to home to life and health, boat, liability, construction, and business insurance, Shield has affordable policies, flexible options, friendly service, and the expertise to protect your hard-earned assets. Shield Insurance agents and brokers in Nassau, call 356-7202 or Freeport 352-5945.
You invest in your children, your home, and your community. But are you investing in your financial future? At CFAL, we specialize in investment management, retirement planning, mutual funds, and private wealth management. Our team of experts never stops helping you plan for tomorrow. Because tomorrow begins today. Call us at 502-701 can do for you. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
What happened to you? You look like you lost your paycheck.
Man, I just realized I got scammed out of a bunch of money. They said I won this contest and just needed me to send them some money so I could collect. I mean, to expedite something. Or was it to smooth the process?
Man, you're smarter than that. Protect yourself against scams and fraud by following these tips. If you know you didn't enter a competition, you can't win. Never pay to receive a cash prize. If you're being asked, you're being scammed. Check trusted internet sites for verification of information given to you. Do not give your banking details to people you don't know. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. Monitor your bank account regularly for any questionable transactions. Get more information at getmoneysmartbahamas.com.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
It's time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. The government yesterday announcing that it intends to introduce a merchant shipping bill and make amendments to specific financial bills, including the Procurement Act, Fiscal Responsibility Act, and the Commercial Enterprises Act. The Davis-led administration's legislative agenda was outlined during the speech from the throne, read by Governor General Sir Cornelius Smith, who said the government intends to focus on issues that will strengthen the economy by pursuing measures to stabilize public finances and increase public revenue. Foreign exchange inflows so far this year have already surpassed that of the entire 2020. That's according to Central Bank Governor John Roll. At just over $2.7 billion, the central bank has said in its most recent monthly economic report that external reserve balances are anticipated to end the year at a higher level than in 2020, although this has been bolstered primarily by the proceeds of government borrowing. Roll says the steady footing of tourism has shown promising signs for the economy. The central bank and the Governor, John Roll, presenting the family members of the late Arthur Dion Hanna with the first issued crisp Evolution $100 banknotes bearing the former Governor General and Deputy Prime Minister. This happened yesterday at the launch of the new banknote. Read more about that in today's Guardian Business section. And equity crowdfunding platform Arawak X and digital ecosystems developer Pendry Cannon have formed a strategic partnership to produce the first pan-Caribbean securities exchange through Arawak X's new crowdfunding platform. Arawak X is working fast to lead the development of crowdfunding into the Caribbean to help both Caribbean and international companies raise capital. The company announced last month that it had opened an office in California and has plans to open another in Miami in the near future. According to a statement yesterday, the partnership with Pendry Cannon will allow Arawak X to cast a wider net for investors who would come to the website to find and get details on this story in today's Guardian Business section as well. Overseas, General Motors plans to cash in as the world switches from combustion engines to battery power, promising to double its annual revenue by 2030 with an array of new electric vehicles, profitable gas-powered cars and trucks, and services such as electronic driving systems that can handle most tasks on the road. In announcements Wednesday ahead of a two-day investor event in suburban Detroit, the company announced plans to unseat Tesla and become the electric vehicle market share leader in the U.S., although no time frame was given. The company also teased upcoming new vehicles, including a Chevrolet small SUV that will cost around $30,000, as well as electric trucks from Chevrolet and GMC, SUVs from Buick, and luxury vehicles from Cadillac. And in breaking news, Pfizer has asked the U.S. government to allow use of its COVID-19 vaccine in children ages 5 to 11. And if regulators agree, shots could begin within a matter of weeks. Many parents and pediatricians are clamoring for protection for children younger than 12, which is currently the cutoff for the vaccine made by Pfizer and its German partner BioNTech. Not only can youngsters sometimes get seriously ill, but keeping them in school can be a challenge with the coronavirus still raging in poorly vaccinated communities. Pfizer announced in a tweet that it had formally filed its application now with the Food and Drug Administration in the U.S. Now the FDA will have to decide if there's enough evidence that the shots are safe and will work for younger children like they do for teens and adults. An independent expert panel will publicly debate the evidence on October 26th. One big change, Pfizer says the research shows the younger kids should get a third of the dose now given to everyone. And after their second dose, the 5 to 11-year-olds developed virus-fighting antibody levels just as strong as teens and young adults who took the regular strength shots. In your Morning Blend Business, recapping trading on the BISX from Wednesday, your market watch. Your movers, Commonwealth Bank moving 5,000 shares, up 8 cents to $2.75. Commonwealth Brewery moving 1,000, up 62 cents to $6.92. Consolidated Water up 5 cents to $2.37. Emira Incorporated up 15 cents to $11.26. The BISX All Share Index closing at 2,095.19, up 27.86 points. That's your market watch, and that is your morning business report, brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Play soca, play soca, play soca, play soca. If your vibes ever good, body looking rude, forever looking nice, 'cause you're always in a line. Use a West Indian, yeah, yeah, yeah. Use a West Indian, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, put your hand on your knee, wine to the beat, bend low, touch.
We're back here with Morning Blend Business. Dwight Strong with you. Laverne had to run off, but thank you, Laverne. We are talking with Tennille Simmons with BTC, giving you a little taste of Allison Hines to get you ready for tomorrow. Right, Tennille?
You do not make it sound like a business workshop.
Right. No. Just getting people excited. But she's going to be focusing on, as you said, business, not there to wind up and stuff. Right.
It's not a dancehall concert.
All right. So you were telling us what else we could expect in the workshops.
Yes.
Before we lost you there.
Yeah. So, like I was saying, we have 4 keynote speakers for each Friday of the month. And then, of course, we also have 4 different workshops. And so those workshops are geared towards specific subject matters based off of the responses that person said that they wanted to, learn more about, and not necessarily have it in a keynote form, but more so like a workshop where they can, to ask their questions, they can get that direct help. And so, we have where persons can come and learn about how they can get into doing more business with accepting digital payments. I know that's a hot topic.
Yes.
A lot of persons, because as they move their business online, they want to get paid, right? So that's going to be key. And we have one of the vendors that's partnering with us, Repay. They're going to talk about that. They actually focus on a lot of small business owners throughout the Caribbean. So he's going to talk about, his experience with different Caribbean islands having different challenges and how they've been able to overcome those and help those operators, start accepting digital payments. And the fact that we now have where you can get your websites created and set up for 12 months free. I think it's coming in very timely, right?
Yes.
Then we're also going to hear from persons that are going to talk about how they can expand their client or expand their product line throughout the U.S., Caribbean, and the UK, as well as Canada. We find that a lot of persons right here, they're so talented, they're making things and have such great products that they're selling right here. So how they can expand that client base and move just beyond the Bahamas. So distribution is a key in that particular key, what we call hands-on workshop. And then, of course, how do you continue to build your brand and boost that online? So by way of digital marketing, how do you, be cost effective with it? Because we know that, just traditional way of advertising your business online, that's free. But how can you be a little bit more strategic and taking advantage of some of the ways that you could present yourself online and get the bang for the buck? So that's going to be a great workshop where persons, are going to want to learn to see how they can get their business out there from advertising perspective. But of course, like we always say, tie it back to your website. Those social media sites, and that's not your site, even though it's your business is set up. So always redirect the traffic back to your website.
Absolutely. Our company's getting it. I mean, as we said earlier, Monday might be a wake-up call for those who didn't get it before.
Yes.
But are you seeing changes in the attitudes that you just can't rely on those sites like Facebook and Instagram for your business?
Yes, you're seeing it, but I think it needs to be a continuous message because the more we talk about it, you're finding that there are some persons that are really just hearing, the real messaging behind it and the importance of it for the very first time. So I think it's something that has to be a continuous run of, talking about how important it is to not just base your entire business on these social sites. So we're seeing it. It's going to be continuous.
Great stuff. Now, so these Small Business Fridays, these workshops and innovation, what's happening there, who all can take part in this? How do you go about being a part of this?
Well, the first thing about it is that it's absolutely free.
Oh, my goodness.
All of what you've heard about in terms of these keynotes from very diverse backgrounds, it's absolutely free. The workshop, the hands-on workshop where you're going to be able to work one-on-one with some of these subject matter experts, absolutely free. The only thing that you have to do is register. And we're telling you to go ahead and register at Flow Business. That's flowbusiness.co /events. Flowbusiness.co /events. We actually have that website posted on, or I should say that link posted on our website, btcbahamas.com. So when you go there, there's a banner that you can click on it and register. But if you want to go directly to it, it's flowbusiness.co /events. And we also have it on our social sites as well. So if you're able to go on any one of our LinkedIn pages, Facebook, Instagram pages, it's also there as well. And you can just go ahead and register for one to go and join one of the workshops and see one of the keynote speakers, or you can join for all. So, Dwight, I know a lot of persons are a huge fan of Allison. We've already seen our registration list, and it's phenomenal.
I can imagine.
Yes, so between, the Barbados registrants, Trinidad registrants, so we could actually see where persons are registering from.
Okay. Yeah.
So that it's really the lineup there. We expected this sort of response, but we're seeing from the registration that persons are really geared up to see Allison. And I guess because she hasn't been in the spotlight for so long, they really want to see what she has to say, especially from a business standpoint as well. Yeah.
Wow. So this is going to be a regional thing. People from all over the Caribbean taking part in this.
Yes, it's regional. And we haven't even spoken about the best part of it being regional, right? So every single week, there's a different island that you can, and hear their keynote speakers. So this week is Barbados. Next week is Trinidad with Tricia Casal. And of course, Jamaica representing on October 22nd with Spice, and Natasha Maine on October 29th for the Bahamas. But the part of this is that we've incorporated what we call a business pitch segment, right? So if it is that you're just starting out, you want to start a business, all right, or you're already in business and want to take it to that next level and need some funds to get there, you can actually, when you register, there's a portion on that registration where if you want to submit your business pitch, you can do so. And the criteria is all there in terms of what you would need. Nothing long, nothing exorbitant. But you can win up to $7,000 that for the first winner. The winner gets $7,000. That can go towards your startup. If you're already in business, any sort of equipment to run your operations or whatnot. But altogether, it's about $15,000 that we're giving away in cash and prizes. The first winner gets $7,000, and then we have a first runner-up and a second runner-up with also cash prizes as well as free services for an entire year or free electronics for their business as well.
All right,
So,
let's back up a little bit there. $15,000 to pitch.
Yes.
Okay, you got to
Yes.
give us some more details about this. Like,
Yes.
how detailed does
So
it have to be?
again,
Mm-hmm.
Yes, again, go to flowbusiness.co/events. And if it is that, let's say COVID had you last year, just thinking about how am I going to start this? We've seen a lot of persons who transitioned from a lot of the hotels, start their own restaurant business, their catering business. If you fall within a category where, you find yourself where your back is against the wall and you want to start something, you want to start a business, or you already started last year and you need that extra cushion to get you to the next level, this is an opportunity. This is a great time for you to pitch that business idea. And like I said, it's not just for persons just starting out. You can already be in business. Showcase what that model looks like in terms of what you're going to need the funds for, and you can actually be in the running to win that up to $15,000 in cash and prizes for your business.
Wow, that's amazing. All right, so again, tell us how to register. You say it's free,
Yes,
and you just
absolutely free. While seats last, I must say,
Right.
while seats last. All right. So, of course, with the hands-on workshops, we don't want it to be where it's so much persons, because we want it to be very interactive. We want persons who need that subject matter experts along with a support. We'll be working directly with persons to help them, get what they need from that particular workshop. So it's while seats last. We do not have it open up as wide as it is for the keynote speakers. So I urge you, if you're interested in learning about how to, increase your sales through accepting digital payments, if you're already online, start getting paid, start seeing how you can get paid. That is a great workshop to join to see how you can get into doing it. We also have, if you want to learn how you can get your products beyond just the Bahamas, selling it in the US, in the UK, Canada, that's another workshop. It's called, it's actually facilitated by Carib Shopper. So when you go on the site, you will actually see the topics for those different workshops. You can join either one of them, or you can join all. And then, of course, Virgin Atlantic is going to be talking about how you can boost your brand by, creating impactful websites and social content. Very, very timely, because we're offering in our digital smart solution pack a free website for 12 months. Okay, we get to build your website and you get to use it for 12 months absolutely free. You pay nothing. All right. After 12 months, it's just $9 a month. That's tapped on to your existing services. And that is hosted by Virgin Atlantic. And then, of course, Karan Rose, he's based out of Trinidad, very successful, what we call online digital user, where he really teaches entrepreneurs how to really start and continue with cost-effective marketing strategies or campaigns online. And he's done free workshops, he's done paid workshops, but if you learn more about some of these brands that are being represented here, you see that their story behind their success. So Karan started, because he actually, left his 9 to 5 and he poured into how can I help other small business owners, land their space in this digital environment, but then also continuously market cost effectively, of course. And he's found success in that. And so we want him to share about his journey so that they can help somebody else.
Yeah.
So each one of those, like I said, while seats are available, you can go on to flowbusiness.co/events and register for one or register for all. It's absolutely free. And of course, if you find yourself in a position where, you have a business and you need an extra cushion to get over, maybe, you want to do something, a grand campaign for the holidays, apply to get what we call the cash prize from our business pitch competition. It's going to be amazing. I'm so excited about it.
No, this is very exciting. Amazing stuff there. Okay. You sound
It's a lot. It's a lot.
There's a lot going on. Now, I want
It's a
you.
lot, yeah.
You are very inspiring, Tennille. You've been great this morning, but there are a lot
Thank
of companies. A lot of companies had a rough time with this pandemic.
Yes.
You hear it all the
Yes.
time. Some have already closed, and some are
Yes.
don't know if
Yes.
they can make it. What can you say to them? Those companies, those owners right now who are struggling, don't know if they can make it to Christmas even.
I know.
What can you
Like,
say to encourage them?
It's been so hard. It's been so hard because we're in our second year and we see it, we see it, we hear it, we feel it. And I want to tell those companies to continue to push. Being an entrepreneur is no easy task. You know it's no easy task. You have a lot on your shoulders. You're the CEOs, the HR managers, the marketers, IT specialists, and we want you to continue. We want you to push. We know that, it seems bleak, but find that way. If it is that you have to change the way that you operate for now until you can get where you need to go eventually, then do that, but do not quit.
Yeah.
Do not. There's so many people relying on you, and there's so many people here to help you. For one, BTC Business is that partner that is here to help you. And we've been doing it. We sat down with a lot of business owners that, when the hotels closed and their business operation was tied to how the hotels were operating, we had to sit down with them, to find out what is it that we can do to help.
Wow.
Some of them, they had to rearrange how their packages were. Of course, they couldn't keep on the employees that they had. And so we tried to help them as much as we could. Some of them, they had to change and now go to a fully digital environment. We sat down with them, took their businesses online, set up a website, set it up so that they can start now changing the way that they do business. And that's what we have to do as a business partner. That's what I said, that it goes beyond the sales. Sometimes we have to really get in there and speak to that individual. Speak to the drive that's in them that started that business to help them continue to go.
Right.
And that's what we're there for. And we're not going to stop. We're not going to give up. As long as they're willing to continue pushing, we're going to be right behind them to support them.
That's good to know. Good to know. Tennille, you're great. Thank you very much. Tell us how people can reach you and reach BTC Business before we wrap things up.
Yes. BTC, you can reach us, our small business division. You can reach us at 302-7200. That's 302-7200. We will be delighted to take your call. We can come to you. We know that there are some persons that's fine. We can come to you. We can set up online meeting and get you what you need online, because we do have a concierge service that can bring what you need to your door. That's not a problem. So call us 302-7200. But of course, go ahead and register. www.flowbusiness.co/event. Register to attend these innovation conference. We find that it's just that spark and inspiration that they need sometimes when they hear other stories, because a lot of these speakers, they've been through triumphs and they're going to be talking about how they overcame it, and how you're going to be able to prepare yourself to get through this, because we're there for you.
All right, Tennille Simmons, thank you so much with BTC. Great stuff that you're doing. And happy Small Business Month to you and to every small business in the country.
Thank you.
All right.
Yes. Thank you, Dwight. I'm going to have a package sent for you just in celebration of Small Business Month. So look out for that.
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Always a pleasure. Talk to you again soon.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so that is it for us. We're going to do a quick weather wrap-up for you folks. And as we head into the holiday weekend, yes, tomorrow's Friday, but I know some already in that frame of mind there. So we've got building high pressure that's going to produce moderate to locally strong breezes across the country, as lingering moisture north of the area will increase shower chances mainly across the northern islands through tonight. So today we're looking at variably cloudy, hot, and humid conditions with isolated showers and thunderstorms mainly in the extreme northwest Bahamas through tonight for the northwestern islands. And for the central southeast Bahamas, partly sunny to sunny, very warm, bit hazy, breezy, with quick passing showers today, becoming mostly fair and warm with a few light showers tonight. High temperatures getting up to 90 Fahrenheit, 32 Celsius, but the heat index will make you feel like 102 Fahrenheit, 39 Celsius, down to 73 Fahrenheit, 23 Celsius. Over the week, the next few days, we're expecting weakening high pressure to continue to dominate weather across the country. And a mid to upper level trough coupled with abundant tropical moisture will move in from the west and increase the likelihood of severe weather across portions of the northwest and central Bahamas going into the weekend. That is your Morning Blend weather check, and that's Morning Blend business and Morning Blend for this Thursday morning. Thank you all so much for being with us. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more. And on behalf of Laverne Gardner, I'm Dwight Strachan. Have a great day, everybody. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green coming up next.